What is up, everybody? Welcome to How We Roll. It is Thursday, and that means it is fun and frolicking in the old world of the Empire and Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay. I am your Game Master Gorbat. Joining us this evening, we have our intrepid heroes introducing themselves from left to right. My left to right. May not be yours. You might be reversed. Anyway, one way to the other. We're starting out with Nat.
Hi, I am Nat, and I play Kezkaya, the Troll Slayer, who has slayed a troll. It's
So
kind
there
of
you go.
epic.
Time to upgrade.
Yeah,
Get more
like, come
EXP
on.
and upgrade on up. Also
You
joining
got
us
this.
is Shagit.
Hey guys, I play Nalwick Rattlebone, the Halfling Hunter, and Slingshotter Extraordinaire, Sling Sniper, something
Sling
with
Sniper.
slings.
You can make that a
He's
class.
a slinger.
A halfling sling sniper.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Awesome. Let's see. Also joining us, we have the Dragon Spooker.
Hey guys, I am the Dragon Spooker, and the gain on my mic might be a little wonky, so y'all just let me know if I'm too loud or too quiet or too
You sound
spooky.
perfect.
I play Lena for Great Justice. She is an initiate of Verna.
Indeed. And has the Hammer of Justice. And last but not least, it is our very own Satchmo.
Hi, I'm Sashmo. I'm playing Khazadrin. He's a shield breaker, which is just another word for dwarf. He gets in there, he gets a lot of parry attempts, and that's about what you need to know about him.
He is the consummate tank. Get that shield up in front and listen to the bang, ting,
Nearly
dang,
get
bong,
killed immediately
king,
by
chang.
said troll. Yeah, nearly killed immediately by said troll.
Yeah, they have a habit of
that was a
doing
day.
So there we go. So what have we been up to here in the old world? Well, our heroes began just minding their own business and attending a pie festival down in the Moot, where all the halflings come from. While they were there, they thwarted a horrible plan to destroy the tobacco trade and the industry. After that, they said, okay, well, we're done here. They headed north, and they heard about a strange beast and some mercenaries that were going to kill the beast. And they thought, free money, horrible death, what could be bad? So they went and did that. Then they decided, while dealing with some things like that, they interpreted or come across a troll, as we just said. However, this was not all to be kind of above board with the troll, because it seemed like the patrol was somehow being manipulated by a little group of people, namely this weird, very fetish-driven priest. And they found a letter on said priest that was written in very iffy writing. So Lena said, well, we're not that far from known where my biggest temple is, which I kind of wouldn't mind going to. I bet they know what this is. Let's go there. So they did. They got there, and very quickly, the priestess says, oh yeah, we know what this is, and you don't need it. And they took it away. And then said, oh, but while you're here, you're an initiate, and you haven't done your introductory week yet, have you? She said, what's that all about? She said, oh, well, you know, when you become an initiate, here and known, you basically have to do a week of street justice. Verna, of course, being the goddess of justice and all that kind of stuff, so they very kindly said, your friends can come if you want. Hell, we'll even let you deputize them and pay them a little bit. So I was like, well, I guess that's the thing I need to do. So she agreed, and then they said, oh, and just to make it really fun, we're sending you to the absolute worst slum pits there are, where the highest crime rates are, and it's really bad. Go to the Blind Pig, and all you'll need to do is start there, and crime will find you. Well, crime found them before they even made it to the Blind Pig, because they almost got mugged, of which they did distribute some very swift justice to 5 would-be muggers. Then they got involved in a little situation where a young man had gone missing. They went and talked to his wife. Apparently, he kind of got himself in rough with some unpleasant individuals. Some guy that was a little bit on the old iffy side. So they went and tried to talk to him, but found out very quickly he wasn't very friendly, wasn't very nice. But they basically bought the loyalty of one of his followers, who said, "Hey, I know the guy you're looking for. He's in a bad place right now. He's been taken by Kruger Hauser, who is also known as the Persecutor. He's some kind of torturer extraordinaire, and he's got him. I can tell you he's somewhere down there in the sewers, but that's all I know." So they went down into the sewers, found Kruger Hauser, put pay to him and his ruffians, and then kind of struck a deal with the devil in a weird way, because they kind of said, "Hey, so Gunter Hennings is the guy that is responsible for us coming to get you, but we can either deal with you, or we can let you take care of the greater of the two evils, and as long as you go and get Gunter Hennings and give him a right royal torturing that ends rather fatally, we'll let bygones be bygones," which was a very interesting way of distributing the justice. And he was like, "Sure, sounds much better to me. I like this job. I enjoy causing pain. And if I get to cause pain and not get killed or arrested, it's a win-win." So they kind of left it at that. They rescued the guy, took him back, returned him to his wife, and stumbled, tired and exhausted and somewhat beat up, back at the Blind Pig Tavern. And that's literally, I think, where we're joining them this evening. As they're eating a late supper, having a few drinks, and looking forward to a good night's rest. And that's where we join our heroes here this evening. So we're going to go ahead and pull our screens back and get things a-rolling. Let me see here. Let me find you a... Alright. Go ahead and pull these covers back. Right, so you guys are here sitting at this here table. The last table that you had was the one over here by the lavatories, which was really unpleasant and stank. But you got one near the door this time. And you just, as I said, I think where we finished off, you just kind of got back after delivering Abel to his beloved Helena. And
yeah, she was super concerned.
yeah, and you were all out of healing-y things, so I know that there was talk of trying to get your hands on some more healing poultices and stuff.
Yes, I need more poultices, and we probably need to go see a priest or two. We're
Yeah.
pretty rough up, and we can't wait another couple weeks for everybody to heal back up.
Cascayo could use with some healing.
Who is so who is 3 wounds or less?
Me.
Just you?
Yeah, I think it's just Kazkaya.
So how many wounds is Kazkaya on?
2.
Oh, okay, yeah. So you have a week to heal that serious wound naturally.
I was at 0, but I think I took an advancement in my wound, so
Okay, well that works.
yeah. I assumed I got those if I took the advancement.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
I mean, you also got healed for 1 hit.
She got healed for 1, so she
Lena
went from
rolled.
0 to 1, and then an advancement of 1 gets rid of 2. So
And then I failed.
So I'm at 2.
so you're at 2. Yeah, there you go. And everybody else, I think, is just kind of at the healer point a day routine, right?
Right.
Without
I can't wait that long, though. We're only supposed to be here for a week.
I mean, yeah, you got a week's worth of work, and this is only day 2, so
I mean, we did a week's worth of work in 2 days. It's fine.
yeah, there you go.
I mean, I don't know how hurt everybody else is. I'm on 5.
Yeah, I'm a little bit down, but not that.
Well, tomorrow's a new day, so you'll all go up by 1, except for Kazkaya, who will just go up by 0.7.
Though, to be fair, I don't know what I'm supposed to be at. How do you tell?
Should be what your wounds total is.
Starting
I'm
wounds,
at
I think
14.
Spook starts with your race, right?
Yeah.
You'll have if you look, there should be a on wounds. You've got
Well, right now it's listed at 5.
Yeah, but they should.
Right above that, the W under secondary stats at the bottom. W.
Well, that's how many extras I have.
Well, they should be starting,
Mm-hmm.
and then any that you've taken through your career.
It doesn't have anything listed by my starting.
Oh, that's a problem because that should be there.
That's not right.
Yep, the starting wounds should be filled in.
Well, shite.
Let's see.
I'm pretty basic. I'm a human. Does that help?
It tells us that it would be one of a very small array of possible options.
Human starting wounds. Well, when you rolled
You
your
roll,
character,
and it's either like
10 to 13.
yeah,
based on
10,
what you
11,
roll.
12, or 13.
Well,
Have
there's
you
no
been
way
playing
I
with
had more than
5
Birdie,
wounds this
right?
entire time?
No.
No. Like the problem is, I never got hurt until the last time we played, and
So
I've slept
obviously
since
lowered
then,
the
so I don't
starting
remember
wounds,
how
not the
many I
current
originally
wounds.
had. There's no way she had as many as Birdie, and Birdie has like 14 or 15. So
Yeah, see, you've got in the secondary stat block, it says starting, talents, career, advanced, modified, current, right? That's where all of that is. And then below that, under the combat box, that's where you actually track and lower your wounds.
right, and I've never put my wounds in. Shit.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay. So
I can go back to the past when we rolled up our characters.
will it let you go back that far?
Yeah, there's a way to have it be.
There is, yeah. Well, I'll let you play with that while I
Yeah.
But yeah, it will be there. You should be able to pull it up for sure.
I never noticed that was there. In the that was where my wounds were supposed to be. So guess how I was tracking Birdie's wounds the whole time we were
Right.
playing in those campaigns.
And then you was an initiate, right?
Yeah.
Do you have any advancements from initiate in wounds? I don't think there are any.
No, I mean, I've taken both of the ones I had for my career already, so.
Okay, so there were two wounds for initiative or for initiate.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, chap. Doing a little bit of housekeeping real quick. Yeah, so if you've taken those, so it'd be whatever your starting is plus those 2, unless you had, let's see, any talents.
Nothing that would.
There are no talents that would have affected wounds that you would have taken, so it'll be whatever that starting is plus 2. So you should have 2 in the career
I just need to know
box.
what to put in starting is the problem.
Okay, so yeah. Do you not have any fate points either?
I have 3 fate
Let's get
points.
fate points in.
Oh, because that's not there. That's not the fate points. The
Oh,
fortune points
geez,
are
where's
listed.
that supposed to be?
That's also
No,
in the
I-
bottom box.
Yeah, I put in. So you, Spook, rolled on a 1d10, a 7 and a 6. So when we were character creating. So I think the 7 is on the table that we need to look at for your points.
Okay.
Because we did it, we all did 2 1d10 rolls for the secondary statistics. One for the wounds and one for the fortune
So,
points.
yes. And as a human, a 7 would be 12.
Okay, so she's at 14.
So you should have a total of 14. So you should have 2.
Right, so if I put 12 in starting, it'll have. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep,
Okay.
that's right.
Yay,
There you
math
go.
is fun.
You're healthy.
Good deal. All right. There you go. Yeah, total is 14. And your current is 5. Good deal. We're at it. Okay. Well, then the question remains, do you guys want to sleep the night and then go off, or do you want to go off out in the dead of night?
I don't know about you guys, but I don't want to go anywhere in this part of the town in the dead of night.
I mean, it's really up to Kazkaya because she looks the worst off of all of us. Do you think you can brave a 2-hour
Do you really
jaunt
want to
through the-
ask the suicidal Troll Slayer if she wants to go out in the danger?
Yeah, good point, Lena. Good point.
Is it not suicidal? She has
We must face the
an
danger.
honor-bound goal to die a
Sorry,
good
sorry. I
death.
said
the peril.
suicidal. What I meant was honor bound.
If you die a dumb death in the streets, like a stupid sewage rat, it's not exactly gonna restore any kind of honor.
It's all about how we spin it.
I guess so. That's my job.
I mean, you know, it is pretty late. Good night's sleep probably wouldn't hurt anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, no one's hopefully going to die in their bed.
Maybe someone here has some poultices, or I mean, it's an eclectic group.
I'm not about to ask
They might
around.
would price gouge us.
Well, we can ask the innkeeper, and maybe he'll know someone.
I mean, I'm not against it, but
She's back. I'm gonna point to the lady sitting at the corner there.
Oh yeah, she's sitting up here.
Might want to tell her we got the job done.
she didn't really seem to care much. But I mean, I guess we could. Did she offer to pay us, or did she already pay us? What happened with that? I can't remember now.
Weren't we doing it for justice?
I mean,
I think
yes,
it was
Lena
justice-
was,
justice
but
was it?
And the Vernian way. Yeah, she tipped you off to the issue and the problem,
okay.
and took you and showed you where to go.
We doled out more money.
Yeah, I mean, I don't care about the
Significantly
money. It's
more
just, I
money.
didn't.
You
I
have
just wanted
spent
to-
more money solving these problems. That's right.
I wanted to wrap up loose ends if we were supposed to talk to her afterwards, but I don't remember.
We left 5 golds at the poor person's house.
No,
we bribed the
15.
guard
I
for-
left, didn't we? Didn't I leave more
Well,
than
we
that?
did 15 later on.
Yeah.
Right?
So you've shelled out a large quantity of money. They've gone from being on Skid Row, destitutely poor, and him having to resort to petty crime to make ends meet, to virtually wealthy. Like
Well,
you
he
showed
shouldn't have
up
to
and it
do
was like
petty
the
crimes
lottery
anymore,
win for
right?
them.
And he was punished for what he did do because he was tortured. So I say that's justice.
Right? Hey.
I think I'm doing a pretty good job over here.
Then we bribed the guard
And
to
after
show
all,
us
justice
the
is a very
torturer.
relative concept, anyway.
Yeah, I paid. I gave the one guy money.
And then you gave the evil man 20
Well, I gave
golds.
I gave the one guard money so that he could leave town and hopefully not be a criminal anymore. And then I'm gonna have the other dude turn around and do some street justice and stop one of the main crime boss guys. And I plan on telling the priestesses of Verna about the other guy who is torturing people down there. So maybe they can mount something to get rid of him because now they'll.
Or maybe
okay.
they'll tell you to go back.
Wait, is Lena the one saying this, or Spook? Are you just letting us know? Because
Oh well, yeah. I'm just letting you all know that that's Lena's plan.
okay,
Is to give this guy up as well, but hopefully give him enough time to torture and kill the other dude.
And then get
all
caught.
right, so I understand it, but my character definitely does not, because I was thrown through a loop when we decided to do a turnaround on the torture guy. So I'm just gonna sit here as we're just determining whether to go get healed or not in the dead of night. So is it our new rule that we're paying people off who are clearly evil and deserve to die?
Oh no, they'll get theirs.
Oh, so there's another part to that plan, because he really threw me through a loop down there.
Well, of course, he must face justice just as well for his deeds.
Okay.
Going to use him as a tool of justice before he faces justice.
Justice
Well-
cannot always be swift. Sometimes you have to play the long game.
Isn't that literally the phrase you humans say, that justice is swift?
Swift justice. It can be swift. It's just not always
Can-
swift.
Well, as much as I would like justice to be doled out immediately, I'm not Judge Dredd.
Y'all damn nigh are.
Is Dread a part of Veronite's religion? Okay.
Actually, he probably
What a
would
name.
be.
I mean, thus far, you guys pretty much have been, doling out catching up of the crimes and administering the chosen punishments and everything as well. So it is almost Judge Dreddy.
I mean, see,
Hey,
I
no one's
could
complaining.
distribute justice myself, but I'm just an extension of Virna. The justice will get there somehow. It may not be by my hand directly. Sometimes you've got to
We are
put a little
going to
more work and
report
thought
him.
into it.
We're going to report him then to the order, and they're going to help out. Is that it?
Yes.
Okay. Well, we'd still be deputies then.
Well, I'm sure. Unless you would rather not. I would never make you unwillingly.
Well, it's just usually during a hazing ritual like this, you don't actually pull it off. So I'm thinking we might get actually promoted a little bit.
Hazing?
You know, they sent us out here to get ourselves hurt and come back crying just to kind of laugh about it a little bit and be like, well, you understand now, the world's kind of a messy
No,
place.
it's not hazing. It's proving myself.
Oh, yeah, for you, because, you know, the hammer and all and capability.
No. Yeah, what Kazajin is saying is we're being hazed by you, Proxy.
That's all.
Oh, no. See it as...
I didn't volunteer to be a deputy. I was trying to...
Say that again and I'll drink you under the table.
Well, I mean...
Don't mix words with the dwarf.
I just explained that, sometimes justice gets there eventually. Sometimes it has to work through other channels, and it may not be by a priestess or an initiative or directly. And that's what I mean by... I mean, you guys are a great illustration of that. Virna's doling out justice through you. Isn't justice wonderful?
It's so just.
She works in mysterious ways.
Kazkai is just gonna look at everyone a little confused and
I'm right
take another drink. Like,
it's okay. You don't have to understand it.
I mean, you humans and dwarves, you exhaust me sometimes.
Justice can be exhausting.
It's pretty straightforward with us halflings. We eat, we procreate, we smoke, we eat more, we sleep, generally do good things. It's too complicated.
To death.
This is too complicated.
It's all right. It's all right. Not all of us have the calling of justice within our hearts, but Virna will make use of you if she needs, and if she finds you capable, which she has found you all capable. You should be proud. Even a relaxed and simple halfling like yourself.
So are we staying the night and going tomorrow to get healed up, or?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
It might do if it doesn't take too long to report back. I must at least send word to the priestesses about what happened, and maybe they can mount something to attend to our friend before he makes off. I assume he'll be leaving town after he finishes with Hennings.
If he's smart. Alrighty then. Well, in that case, you all get a good night's rest. Everybody except Kazkaya will heal a point naturally. But nonetheless...
I'm so left out.
Yeah. Probably in the morning you feel your bruises a bit more. But you also feel a bit more rested too. You get up, have a good breakfast, and bright and early you can head down to... I'm assuming if you want to go and see a priest, I guess you're going to go to the Temple of Verna, huh?
Well, I mean, that's where I would prefer to go.
Go into the Temple of Moor and ask for healing.
Not sure I have a choice.
Okay, then. Alrighty, to the Temple of Verna we go. Through the streets. I'll go ahead and get you here. As soon as you get there, you are immediately told, Priestess Hildenbrand is looking for you. She actually was about to dispatch somebody to the blind pig to find you. How fortuitous that you are here. Step this way. And they'll usher you into the chamber where you met with her last time. All right. We'll change that to other sounds.
So screwed, guys.
Well, we always think the worst anytime anything.
Spook. This is Warhammer Fantasy.
I know,
I
Roleplay.
know.
Well, as soon
Okay.
as the guy
This
was like,
never
"Oh,
ends
she's
well."
been looking for you." Oh, great! Either she's going to ask us to do something, or we're going to get
She's going
scolded
to be very
for.
upset that we actually did.
Or she's gonna, turn into a chaos beast. Like,
And
That can
explode.
before.
He's trans? Her penis is a snake?
Taverna, yeah, right. All right,
Oh.
yeah, so Priestess Hildenbrand will say, it is so good to see you. You are still alive. Excellent. Don't think that your good deeds have not already found their way to the temple. We have little birds that are willing to chirp the roofs everywhere, you know. I found, I must say, I found some of your solutions very, unorthodox.
Well, sometimes it just. Verna speaks in strange ways.
Your friends, and they seem to be a little bit averse for there.
Yeah, we had quite a time, in our endeavors last night.
Well, this will be good practice for you two. Just go about it, say some prayers, see if you can't, remedy the situation. And they'll kind of, look at her and almost nonchalantly nod, like, oh, here we go. So they will approach the first two of
But
you.
he's as devout as Lena. It's frustrating.
Okay, so Khazadrin. 44, he succeeds. Okay, he bestows prayers to Verna upon you. And Verna chooses to bless you with 7 waves of healing.
Oh, I'm into pink, baby.
All right. And the other
Sorry.
one will approach Kazkaya and kind of grin. Ooh. And it says, this one seems to be a little bit more brutally wounded. I don't know that I know enough prayers to rectify that. What about you, little fellow? Maybe I can help you.
Yeah, I could use a little. For the he's 8 of 13.
Okay. So he'll come over to you after grumbling and blushing that he failed to heal the dwarf. And he'll succeed with you, of course.
Of course, why wouldn't he be able to heal the main one we needed him to heal?
And you are healed for 9.
Jesus.
Hey.
I'm not the main one. You have the
Okay.
shield and the damage dealer. I'm just the
Um,
flashy one.
This one will look and say, unfortunately, this rather vibrantly adorned dwarf lass is a little bit perhaps not in the right graces. She says, you can attempt the same. Go on. And she'll send the other one over, who will lay hands and go, nope, I can definitely concur. She is, Verna is not listening when it comes to this one. But obviously there is something she needs to learn. It's almost as if she got injured on purpose. Perhaps she doesn't want to be healed.
Oh, they got you there, huh?
He says, that's very unfortunate. Let me see. Then she'll wander over herself.
I swear, if she
She's going to
fails
fail
too-
as well, you watch.
I know she is. I can already feel it.
Oh, yeah, 3. No.
Damn it. Can
She
they
says-
try on me at least?
Oh, ignore that. That's supposed to be a 1d10. 10. Bang. There you go.
Yay!
At which point she kind of like politely smiles and says, "You see, if you young initiates learn to adorn yourselves more into the Vernon Graces, to where you can commune better with Our Lady of Justice, you will find that the healing arts become more efficient for you." And they all act like they've just witnessed, "Oh, that's why she's so great. That's why she's our mentor." He says, right, you may go. Off to your studies. And they kind of look. She goes, "Go on."
Can one of them heal me before they leave?
Oh, you need injuring too? Or injuring? You need injuring as well? Okay, she says, "Oh, and yes, let's try here." That one fails again. The other one...
He's not trying hard.
He succeeded. Okay. For 2. But, there you go. At least you are slightly better.
I mean, it is what it is. Okay.
Right, she sends them away, and the doors close, and she kind of deliberately pauses for a while, and you can hear the footsteps, and she's like going, listening to them fade into the distance. She says, "Now that we're alone, yes, as I said, some of your methods seem to be a little bit unorthodox. For what I understand, you did rescue a young fellow from the clutches of... rumor has it he was being held by the Persecutor, is this correct?
Yes.
And you didn't bring him to justice. What happened there?
I felt that he had been punished.
And how so was he punished?
He was tortured.
Oh, so the torturer became tortured.
Oh, you mean him? Oh, sorry.
Yes.
Got my wires crossed. Thought you were talking about Abel. He has not been punished yet. That was part of the reason why I journeyed here.
I see.
Today.
And why did you choose not to punish him?
Because I was using him to punish another.
Oh, really? Interesting. And who was he punishing?
Let me check my notes. I don't remember his name.
Dude, I had that one unlocked.
Gunter Hennings.
Yeah.
Oh, a notorious cad. So, you had one ne'er-thee-well punish another ne'er-thee-well. I can see certain poeticness in that, I suppose. As long as they all end up punished.
Yes, it is. I was hoping that perhaps we could mount a small group to go after the persecutor after he's doled out justice.
So we'll certainly take care of that. But yes, that makes what I'm about to say even more intriguing, because I think you're... Whereas I initially had some reservations, this certainly makes me feel like you might be exactly who I'm looking for. You see,
Happy to hear.
inside the priesthood of Verna, there are Puritans that believe everything should be done just so, by the book, along the line. And then
can
there are
understand and
others that
appreciate
realize that sometimes, much like yourself, you have to be a little bit creative in order to efficiently hand out justice. So, for example, here, you used one criminal to punish another criminal, and then ultimately punish this. Very efficient, you see. Whereas some of the others wouldn't have approved of that. They would have thought, no, you should have punished him right there and then dealt out the punishment to the other person ourselves. But I kind of admire your approach. And that's why I think I have a little job that might be ideal for you and your friends. You see, a good family friend of mine came to me and is very concerned about a business venture that his son is involved in. Now, he asked if I could have somebody discreetly look into it. And, well, that makes things a little bit difficult because walls have ears. But as you're virtually unknown to anybody around here, it'd be very appropriate for such a task. And I also feel that the resolution may also have to be a little bit unorthodox. So here's what I want you to do. And you can certainly take your friends with you. But in one of the provinces, northwest along the river, you will find a town, a very small hamlet, no more than about 30 to 40 people, called Mattersheim. Beyond Mattersheim, there is a new mill being constructed. My friend's son, Rutger Ruta, is the one that is currently overseeing this with his family's money. And some things are a little bit concerning. Apparently he has a partner and has hired some assistants, and things are happening, but at a very, very slow pace. And some of the rumors coming back from Mattersheim are a little concerning, as I said. So Mr. Ruta would like me to send a small consortium to the mill and keep an eye on young Rutger and make sure everything is above board. But it's most important that Rutger does not know why you are there. His father does not want him to feel he is not being trusted, and we're technically doing a favor for, let's just say, a wealthy benefactor of the church, which, again, is not necessarily the sort of thing we tend to do a whole lot of. But the donation is rather large, and there are some repairs that need making, so as you are just an initiate, I can totally justify this as a continuation of your initiation week.
Well, as much as I don't have any sort of money doesn't mean much to me, but I understand that it is necessary in order for us to complete our handing downs of justice.
Exactly. I'm glad you see this. My suggestion is, I have heard that young Rutger arrived at the docks a little earlier today and is looking for labourers and some people to assist in the construction of the mill. I think it would be quite an apt disguise, or ruse de guerre, as it were, if you would go along and act as if you're interested in this, and I'm sure you'll get paid, which would be nice for your friends. And while you're there, in a seemingly harmless, reason, then you can keep an eye on things and make sure everything is above board. Rutger's father is particularly worried about the never-ending supply of money that it seems to be taking to get this mill constructed. So, we need to make sure that his son is doing a thorough job.
I'm sorry, ma'am. I'm gonna pipe in from between the two dwarves.
Okay, she goes, "Oh, yes, little one."
I'm gonna turn and look at Nelwick like, don't embarrass me.
Do you really think that we can pass as mill makers?
She says, "Well, first of all, building something requires the use and manipulation of a lot of timber. These two dwarves are quite robust and very strong. You could easily pass to some kind of tradesperson. And, given a change of dress, I'm sure Lena could quite easily pass herself off as something else."
Right. You don't want Lena to go as a very obvious
Oh, no, absolutely
initiate of...
No.
Yeah, okay.
That would be far too evasive.
So Lena, that means no talking about justice all the time, huh? Yeah? I'm going to kind of give you a smirk.
You're just gonna see a conflicted look.
She says, we'll have to be quick because the barge that he has procured, it is the Trandafir, I'm told. The captain of the barge is a gentleman by the name of... What was his name? They only said a short name. It'll come to me. But yes, the Trandafier is what you need to find.
Is there somewhere that you could recommend a supply of poultices?
Oh, I'm afraid you're not really going to have time for side shopping trips. But I'll see if we can, if we have a few laying around the temples that I can temporarily procure for you.
Sweet. If we don't have time for shopping, I need to find clothes as well.
Well, I'm sure that we have some people that
Actually, it says I have common clothes in my bag
so
for
you
some
would have.
reason. So, okay.
Okay.
I don't know, wouldn't happen to be sparing in a chain coif or something of that effect?
Well, I don't know that we should really armor you up too much. It doesn't look very laborish.
All right.
I'm gonna very naively say, I don't think we'll be coming into much in the way of battles. Sorry, Kaskaya. We're just going to make sure that a meal is being built properly. Why we shouldn't? I don't think that we should run into that much opposition.
I wouldn't think so. I'm sure, if anything, it is the foolishness of youth.
Yeah, don't worry, Keskaya. You can murder some trees.
It's not like we're playing Warhammer or something.
Well, all right.
Kaya's just gonna like quietly lean over to Kazdran and be like, "Do I look like a laborer?"
I'm gonna look up as you lean over.
Like the mohawk,
Yes.
like touching the mohawk. Like, wait a minute.
We'll get you a couple of fake tattoos to cover the real ones. That way they don't think you're such a dwarf.
Such a dwarf.
Yes.
Kazadrin, can you not talk over me? Your beard is tickling my...
Apologies.
Oh, and yes, the captain's name, Rico. That was it? Rico. Captain Rico.
Rico, all right.
Rico, how
Suave.
dramatic.
No, just Rico. Yes, Rico of the Trandafin. And as I said, you're
The
looking
Rico
for young
nasty.
Rutger Ruta.
Right. Rico Ruta. All right.
It is but only it's about 10 miles to Mattenheim, and the mill is only a couple of miles past there, so it will only take you a day to arrive.
Sweet. All right.
Rico's Roughnecks!
Gore, you asshole.
Hey, the Wrath of Shane said it first.
Yeah, but I didn't even
But
make
you
that
were
connection.
going to.
He beat me to it. It's either that or Rico Suave.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Okay.
I guess we should make
You
haste.
should have chat vote for that one, actually.
Yes.
Right.
I have one question left, and I'm going to give Lita another kind of half smile.
Okay.
As I look at
Okay.
does the Temple of Virna do hazing perchance?
Hazing?
I'm gonna give him a kick.
Ow!
No. That's
I just roll my
what a
eyes.
vulgar custom. No. You'll find that at the colleges of learning and maybe even at the engineers' college, but not here at a temple. This is not something that
I
would be
tried to
considered
tell-
appropriate.
Okay, I stand
As far as you
corrected. Esmeralda, forgive me for making such an assumption. I'm going to start backing up.
I'll let you go and say your blessings and dip your fingers into holy fonts as you goes, and I'll have someone go and seek any healing poultices for you.
Bitchin'. Okay.
Bitchin'. Alrighty then.
Oh, holy Virna, may my gavel be
I'm going to make
swift.
this your fault. So, Spook, roll
Oh,
a
shit.
d6.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
God.
2
What is
healing
2?
poultices is how many they come up with.
Oh, I need like 5
6.
times that.
Need
They're
an
expensive.
endless supply.
They're expensive. It makes sense.
So, yeah, there you go.
I didn't
Alrighty.
realize how many I was going to be using on you fools. No, I'm playing.
I mean, you partied up with a troll slayer.
Yeah, I'm learning. I'm learning.
Dying times here. Okay, so you guys are actually, Temple of Verna, you guys are up here, if I remember right. So yeah, down to the docks. Upon arriving at the docks, you're immediately aware that a little bit more direction would have been nice, considering that there are dozens and dozens of boats and ships and barges all along the docks.
Cool. Oh, damn it. Does anybody remember what the boat's called?
I mean,
We're
we're
looking
in,
for Captain Rico, yeah.
we're in Warhammer's version of Venice. With, like,
Right?
water everywhere.
I literally
Water
wrote down
everywhere and not a
everyone's
drop to
name but
drink.
the captain's boat. I wrote down everything but what the name of the boat is.
Started with a T.
I
Does
did
anyone
mention
know-
it 3 times.
It started with a T.
Captain
Tryptophan.
Rico? Rico?
Again, the docks probably
Yes, that's true.
transverse, several miles. So yelling Rico, pretty slimsies. But hey, it's Warhammer. Roll a percentage dice. If you can roll 1%,
Yeah, baby!
if you can roll a 1,
Can I spend my luck points? Oh, wait, we don't do that. Damn it.
I mean, that's closer than I thought you would get.
That just,
I'll give you a
like,
1 in 100,
awakened.
which is being generous.
Triple decker.
If it happens, it
Try.
would be hilarious.
Try.
Are we in
So
triple
it's not
triad
tryptophan.
territory?
I think you're right. It is TR, I think.
Trisyllabic?
Something.
Trinidad.
Trinidad and Tobago?
You want me to just go ask?
Time is of the essence,
Run all
right?
the way
Like,
back. What was the name of the boat again?
The Turdarkin.
Turducken? It's Turducken.
Talking.
The
We're gonna get on the wrong boat and go to the wrong city.
Well,
there was a T and an R and a D in there somewhere.
Trinidad. I heard of that place. That's
Um,
real.
tried it?
He said
Let's
it
just
so
ask for a
many
boat that
times.
The
goes.
gum?
Let's just ask for where a boat is going. Where are we going to?
Matters, Tom.
Go ask if there's a boat going there. Somebody's got to know what boat is going there.
Okay, I guess I'm gonna ask someone.
Let's have a gossip roll then, Lena. Get gossiping.
We're the worst party ever, I swear.
Oh god, yeah, we have no. We all because of our last
Jesus.
party.
You basically start. Excuse me. Do you know if there's a boat going to Mattersheim? No. What about you? Do you know? No. Oh, okay. That's
pretty
not
good
seeming to get you anywhere. But again, it is a vast dockland area.
I can't believe the one thing that I didn't write down.
All right, well, let's go up the hill and
Does
ask.
it look like there's anybody who is like in charge of boats coming in and out, like keeping track of them? Like, is there a building?
You can
or-
see like dock wardens roaming around with like clipboards and stuff like that for sure.
Okay, I'm
Who
gonna.
knows what
take-
they're doing, stevedores and stuff like that. But
Trimectolin? Why am I saying things that sound like medicines?
I was about to say, it sounds like you're procuring drugs, not boats.
We might be.
Sudafed, that was it.
Try to.
Even if we knew the name of the ship, we wouldn't be able
Tricycline?
to find it without knowing who to talk to.
Timmy Turner.
Timmy Turner.
They're not. It's not like they came in alphabetically.
Right.
Tridectin.
So I'm gonna take
It's
Lena up
Travelin.
one of these.
That's what it
bins.
Is it?
Is it?
No.
Damn it, Shaggy.
Trucador.
Trogtor.
Why did it
War.
have to be a weird word?
Because
I'm
it's
just listing
Warhammer, and
medical
there are no
names, that's
normal
how we
words.
It's Warhammer, so it's got to be something that sounds
Is it like-
It's gotta
German.
sound Germanish.
Yeah, but
Germanic.
the ship owner's Rico. Like, that's not Germanic to me.
Well, then there's a good chance
gonna
he's not
take-
from the Empire.
I'm gonna take Alina up to one of these wardens
Okay.
and just see if one of these knows.
Yeah, they're wandering up and down, and you can see that they're flipping through pages and ticking boxes, and
I looked up German word for boat, and it came up boot.
so that's a Canadian
That's
word
not
for
it.
about. It's a boot. Okay. So yeah, you go wandering up to one of these fellows.
I have no gossip or charm or skill with that. I can intimidate them, but not well. So I'm just gonna like
Where
shove
is
Lena
he?
at them.
I'm the
Hi,
same.
I need to find a boat that's gonna leave really, really soon, and I was told the name of it, but it escapes me. All I know is where it's going, the name of the captain, and that it starts with a T.
He said, "Okay, where is it going?"
Mattersheim.
Mattersheim,
And the name of the captain?
Rico.
And you know what kind of vessel it is?
Barge?
What's
If
it
a
called?
barge.
It is a barge. Yeah, he said
Okay,
barge.
It's a barge.
Right, he looks at his, starts flicking through pages, says, I do not has it, but, I'm sure that if it was, scheduled to be docked here today, there would be notes at the office. Of course, the office is quite far away, and, it would mean that I would have to give up my break to go all the way to the office and look it
Where
up
is
for
it?
you.
How long will it take to run there?
Oh, I can't run. I have a bad
Not
leg.
you, me.
Oh, well, it's no good if you go alone. You're not going to be able to get the information. I would have to go and pull the records for you.
I'll pull out a gold.
He says, and suddenly my leg feels somewhat better. That will, he goes, yes,
I
I
look
will.
like I want to slap the snot
after
out
I,
of this
after
guy.
I run, I will have to go to the apothecary and pay for some very expensive ointment. So that's much appreciated, yes. Well,
Yeah, she'll give it to him.
Okay. It is real. Right then, steps this way.
If the office is like right
How's
here.
he
I swear.
walking? I'm going to.
Like,
Right,
we have no
actually-
time to actually deal with this
like
bureaucratic
leans over.
It's a
nonsense.
good 20 minutes to get there. He goes in the
We
office.
probably could have just freaking ran back and asked for the name of the boat by
We
now.
still wouldn't
that'd
have
have taken
known
you
where to
probably
go, though.
45 minutes to get there and 45 minutes back. So
Yeah,
that
and we still wouldn't know where the boat is. That
Right.
doesn't help us find the boat. That just gives
Okay.
us a name of a boat.
He says, let's see. Your destination Mattersheim. Well, he goes, well, there are only 3 vessels scheduled to go there today. Let's see. We have, the Zrechtenwager. Does that sound correct?
No.
Okay. Then there is, the Trandafir. Is that possibly it?
I think it was that one.
Let's see. Trandafir. Well, it does belong to a Captain Rico. So it sounds like that would be your vessel, yes?
Guys, does
Yeah,
that sound
yeah,
right?
yeah,
I don't trust my
yep.
brain since I got
Yep, that's
diagnosed
it.
with fibro.
Yes. What's the third one, just to be sure?
The third one is a Stiegelander.
Okay, it's not that one. Yes, number 2. Final answer.
So, yeah, where is it in relation to this office?
He says, let's see, dock 32. So you're going to go out of here, and you're going to want to go left, past the first bridge on your right, and it will be the third berth along from the bridge.
Okay, thank you. And I'm going to open the door. And
Did you get
usher
that,
people
Matt?
Third after the bridge, the third.
So which way's right from the office? Is it like?
He says,
We're
no,
going
out of
left
the
from here.
office, go left, from the office.
Okay, so which way's left from the?
It's-
Is that,
imagine
it's
that's
this
you
way,
where
or
we are in
because I
relation.
don't know which way I'm oriented on the map.
Oh, okay. You're
It's
in this
over here,
building
right?
here.
Left from the office
So
and
you wanna
then
go-
right at the third bridge.
I'm assuming it's
No,
this
past the
further.
bridge.
Okay,
Yeah.
I was completely wrong.
see,
then.
I was
looking at-
completely right. Follow
Past
the
the
halfling.
bridge.
He's a hunter.
It's
He knows
past the
direction.
bridge, the third something on
Yeah,
the
it's
right.
like right here. Literally like right here.
There you go.
So we go that way.
Okay. Alrighty. So you hurl yourselves down the busy streets, past the bridge. 1, 2, 3. Okay. And you can see a large river barge that has coils on coils of rope and crates, and some carefully cut and planed logs and stuff like that, all loaded up. The boat sits pretty heavy in the water. The crew, as you can kind of see them working, are all a little darker skinned than you guys. And they all have like dark hair and rather slick hair as well. They certainly don't look imperial.
Are we in disguise yet, or should we go do that?
I'm assuming you probably adorned those disguises either before you left the temple or before you got here.
Really sure what disguise I did, but
Yeah, no, I didn't. I'm like
Pretty sure-
Pushed it this way.
took the fat out of it or something. Not a lot of time for that.
Hey, you've got big, strong, muscly arms. You could look like a laborer. What does a laborer look like?
If somebody doesn't know dwarf culture, they might not know what you are.
Yeah.
There you go.
We'll hope that they don't know dwarf culture.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Okay.
the only one that really needs to like disguise is Lena. I feel right.
Really, yeah. I mean, I'd have to take off my.
Yeah, other than that, it's really just
Heavier
adorning
armor.
a personality that fits the task, not... Okay. Yeah, so you see the barge. See the name on a plaque, the Trandafir. And as I said, you can see it is finally it's kind of loaded up. As you get there, you notice there's one gentleman signing some documentation and handing it to one of these other gentlemen that's in like one of the dockhand uniforms, the overseers. And then he kind of nods. You see a couple of coins slip from his hand into the other guy's hand, and then he clambers on board.
All right, Lena, take point. Let's do this.
Sorry, I was muted. Yeah, I'll do the same thing as the guy that I just saw.
Okay, so you want to like try to flag this guy down, or what's the deal?
Didn't the other guy just walk up and slide in money and get on the boat?
Oh no, he didn't get on the boat. This was the one guy on the boat filled out some papers, handed them to one of the guys in the overseer's uniform, and then paid him a couple of gold, and then that guy walked away.
I completely misunderstood
Yeah,
what
no,
you just
it's
said.
more
Okay.
like he was like signing off on some stuff, and then something official.
Okay. So, yeah, I'll flag him down and, like, Captain Rico?
He kind of like looks over at you. As I said, he's kind of like got a thick black mustache. He's got a ponytail that's tied back. He's got big flamboyant earrings. And he's dressed in kind of pretty colorful kind of clothing that's fits very loosely around his chest and stuff. And he's wearing kind of like flamboyant baggy pants with a big blue silk sash hanging off of him.
I like your pants.
He says, yes, I am Captain Rico. And what can I do for you, my pretty man?
We were told we might find passage on your vessel to.
I am afraid this boat is heading northwest up the river, but this is not a passage vessel. This is a cargo ship. There is no room for passengers. We are already somewhat overburdened.
Is there any way that we could help during your voyage? We need to go to Matterstein.
I have a full working crew. I do not really need anybody to assist me in the operation of this barge.
How would she do this?
The vessel has been privately booked by a young man, and we are destined to
Oh,
embark.
Master Rutger.
Ah, yes, Mr. Mr. Rutar. But
Yes,
I believe
Rut-
Rutger may be his first name.
Yes, Master Rutger. That's who we need to go to. We need to help him.
I see. Forgive me. Give me a moment. I will fetch him from the cabin.
Oh,
Right.
Thank
He
you.
basically goes down a trap door and then comes back up. The individual that he comes up with is basically a fairly young, blonde-haired guy that's kind of like got the page boy cut all the way around.
oh, poor
He
dear.
looks a tad green around the gills, as it were.
Oh no.
Upon seeing you, he says, "Oh, are you perhaps looking for work?
Yes, we were told to
Oh,
seek you
wunderbar.
out.
I thought our mission would be a fruitless one, but excellent, excellent. Do you mind doing a bit of laboring? A little bit
Oh, of course not. That's why we're here, right?
Not afraid of hard work, I hope.
Oh no. Look
Good,
at him.
good.
I'm gonna point at the dwarves. Dwarves love hard work.
Oh, more dwarves. Excellent, wunderbar.
Honor, muscle.
Well, no, absolutely. I would more than happily employ some additional help. We are a little bit behind schedule, and there are some tasks very specific tasks that I do need some outside help with. So, I think you
well-
would be most appropriately blessed for this task. Well, yes, jump aboard.
All right, everybody, let's go.
Okay. You clamber on and notice that once again the boat sinks even a little lower, and Captain Rico is kind of like looking, and there's like
Oh,
a
this poor
watermark all the way around the barge, and you guys are. The line is probably about 2 to 3 inches below the water level. He says,
I mean, dwarves are stout.
Have a lot of mass.
To grab a bucket just in case.
It's okay. I think they can swim.
Like a stone.
well, the vessel itself, as I said, even though it's kind of sunk a little low in the water, it looks in fairly poor shape. The paint
Oh.
is peeling from it, and its age-worn timbers. The deck is stacked with like teetering piles of crates, barrels, building supplies, and rope. So it's certainly not the most pleasant voyage vessel. But fortunately, it's only, as I said, 10 miles to Mattersheim, and only a few miles on beyond that you've got to go. So, without further ado, he casts off. It takes several hours to work your way into the open estuary and follow the main river.
So there is a crew on board that is Rico's crew.
There's just 2 or 3 also dark-skinned individuals.
Okay, so I want to spend the voyage kind of talking to them to kind of see if I can get an idea of the type of work that they do. Like, are they good, honest workers?
Okay.
Is Rico like an upstanding,
Gotcha.
just like a hardworking guy?
Okay.
Nothing shady about them.
All right. Yeah, so you kind of like leave the main river estuary on the right and begin to head northwest aboard the Trandafir. So what you ascertain just by kind of like listening initially is the crew are what are known as Strigani. Strigani are to Warhammer what Romani gypsies are to us.
Oh, Romani. Okay.
And to what would be Vistani if they were in
Okay.
Barovia. So that is kind of who these guys are. They are known to be wide travelers and
Oh, I see. They
very
combined
flamboyant.
The word...
But the general rule of thumb is they are not very well trusted. Most people automatically assume that they're thieves or that they're liars or that they're scallywags. Most of that is probably
Racism
due
in
to
Warcraft?
right.
Not on my watch. I want to know about these people. I'm not gonna just judge them because they're
Right.
Roma.
Yeah, as I say, most of that
But
is
we
because
will
of the
give them
lifestyle they
justice.
leave. You know, it's like they stay somewhere for a short period of time, then they leave. People realize stuff is missing, and they go like, "Where are those? Oh, I bet they took it." You know what I mean? So maybe some of it might be from a unfair marring.
Yeah,
Maybe
I
some of
only
it
punish
isn't.
real evildoers, not assumed ones, not ones based on prejudice.
Gotcha.
If I punish you, it's because you.
So
you
once
effed
you're
up.
kind of, underway, as I said, you kind of observe. Initially, they're not really interested in talking because they're having to work pretty hard to manipulate this barge, and it is a understaffed crew.
Well, I mean, I'm not much in the way of strength, but I'll help when I can.
Does
I'll help
anybody
them.
have the rowing skill?
That's a skill.
Oh yeah,
Oh, it is.
There is
It's
a
difficult
skill.
It's mine's only
Uh,
13.
I'm at 16. No.
Nope. 12.
so I mean that doesn't mean that you can't help. I mean it's a basic
If
skill.
they,
But,
if they need help with consuming alcohol, I'll do that.
right.
I'll
really
help
good
in
at
whatever
that
way
one.
that I can. It
There's
may
also
even be just by
navigation.
not
If
getting
any of you
away.
happen to have navigation, you might be able to help with that. But considering
Hey,
it's a
hey,
river and it only
Halfling,
goes
can you
one
do
way,
that?
you don't need to navigate too much.
Uh, Nina, didn't you remember that I wasn't too keen on being on the other boat?
I couldn't remember the name of the boat after he said it 3 times a few minutes ago. You think I can remember what you're good at? and
Okay,
what you're
well,
trained
okay,
at?
okay. I'm a land hunter. I hunt for
I'll
small
offer
game
up to
on
row.
land. So sorry.
I'm not going to be good at it, but I'll offer rowing.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, I will too.
I was about to say I would follow if
Right.
that's what we're doing.
Well, they will
If we
appreciate
put all
that
of our stuff together.
because the barge itself does have oars, and they would only be able to man 4 of those oars. And there are in fact 6, so that would allow for the second set of oars to be, put to use.
Yeah, I'll take one of the oars and use it as a steering. That's try to redirect the currents.
Okay.
But not very well, I'm sure.
Alrighty.
'Cause, yeah.
Yeah. So. Oh, need to fix that. All right. So yeah, once you guys are away from Null and out of the estuary, and the constant cavalcade of boats are out the way, and then it's more plain sailing. Things start to calm down a little bit. But during that time, you guys notice that the handful of Strigani crew that there are seem very capable as they busily manipulate the barge, their hoop earrings clanging in their long dark hair as they chatter amiably to each other, speaking in Reichspear but with like a heavy nasally twang. To the stern is the trapdoor that leads down to the cabins. The main deck is pretty plain. It is just loaded down with cargo. To the front, at the very tip of the boat, you do notice there is another Strigani sitting there, but she looks like an elderly woman, swathed in a black woolen shawl, rocking herself to and fro upon a 3-legged stool and quietly mumbling under her breath. Before you really have chance to do much else, the ladder or the trapdoor bursts up, and out of the ladder comes young Rutgaruta. And he says, "Right, formal introductions. So, yes, my name is Rutgaruta. Just call me Rutger. Delighted to have you aboard. At our campsite, we have much work to do. There are certain things I would rather well-muscled and disciplined folks such as yourselves oversee. I'm not expecting any trouble, but if you could keep your eyes open and help muck in should anything come up, then I would make sure it is worth your while. And obviously you'll be very rewarded for any hard work that you do. Now, if I'm going to employ you, tell me a bit about yourselves."
Well, I'll go for. Oh, sorry, Kazadrin, you go.
I was just gonna say, Casadrin, dwarf, that's really all you need to know. I'll drink you under a table if you give me the chance.
Oh, I'm sure you would, young dwarf. But not much of a drinker, I'm afraid. But you have a good, strong arm, yes. Skilled with most dwarves tend to be skilled laborers. I understand. Our foreman is in fact a dwarf. His name is Fulgrim Naddenson. Do you know him?
Do I know him?
Do you know Tom Smith in real life? That's about as random as
which
that
one?
is.
Which one? Which one? Hold on, I know 3.
Right. But Fulgrim Nadrinson is not an uncommon dwarven name, so probably not. Well, maybe. Who knows? This is yes.
I'll just kind of laugh that off. Yeah.
Well, that'll help. Found dwarves to be most hard workers. And you I must say you're the first lady dwarf I've ever seen.
I? Name's Kazkaya.
And well, I must say it is quite interesting that you female dwarfs have just as big a muscles as the male dwarfs. Not so with us humans, you know.
I've noticed.
I'm just gonna kind of look down.
Well, and you look at him, and he probably doesn't have any more arm than you do. In fact, you probably got him licked. At least you can wield that hammer. He probably can barely wield a spoon and a fork.
I've noticed.
Oh, I think I would also try to have had the hammer kind of hidden.
His strength is in the 20s, if that gives you any idea.
Hey, me too.
Which is excellent, excellent. And you, my dear. What?
Is he talking to the halfling or me?
You. At this point, I'm looking at you. So, do you have any particular skills that would be of use for?
I'm more of a creative problem solver.
We definitely have need for those. We run into lots of problems. Seems to be.
I like to help with the labor as much as possible, but I mean...
Well, quite. And
human woman!
well, yes, obviously you're not really cut out for the hammering of nails and lifting of logs and tying of rope, but I'm sure we'll find good use for you. Especially if you're good at problem solving. And what about this little fellow? I can already tell you'll be useful to send up the ladders and working on the roofs and in the rafters, because you're nice and light, aren't you?
Oh, yes. Nelwick here. That's my name. And straight from the moot. Cook by trade.
Hunter. Excellent.
Yes, I hunt for food for these dwarves who have quite the belly.
Well, then I will appoint you the official camp cook. Between you and me, is this these individuals, their food is a little bit too spicy and a little bit too laced with flavors that are not to my liking.
Well, do you like caramelized onions?
I don't know if I've ever tried them, but they sound delicious.
Yes, I put the sweet in their spice. How about that?
Oh, well, excellent.
Sugar.
Yes, you definitely can be the camp cook. Camp cook and ladder boy. There you are. Found a perfect job for you.
Ladder. Okay. Sure. Yeah.
If you turn out to be an excellent cook, we may be able to talk. I'm sure I could hire you on permanently for other tasks. You maybe become a permanent employee.
My 3 friends have not said a ill word about my cooking on the road since we left.
Get your contract to hire.
He says, well, good. And I couldn't help notice that you volunteered yourselves to help with the rowing, so that's always good. There's always additional reward in store for those that stick with us and show initiative. Oh yes, you could earn some serious coin if you prove your worth.
That's great. Let's do that.
Okay. With that, he says, well, I have lots and lots of paperwork to do and boring logistical stuff. Writing down the quantity of products that we have here and balancing the books and stuff like that. So I'm going to go down below and take care of that. I'll see you when we get to our fine little mill. We won't be stopping in Mattersheim. There's no need. We have all the provisions we need. But We'll see it. It's a unremarkable little hamlet off to the right as we pass it. Good day to you. And then he curtsies like a woman and scampers down the ladder and shuts the door. It was almost like I'm not really sure how to behave right now, so this will do. As he does that, you see Rico just kind of go as he continues to help row.
Gonna kind of like nod at that, like,
Okay, so Lena, you said you wanted to try to find out some stuff about this guy. So you want to talk to him, or you want to like have quiet words with the crew?
I want to hear from the crew first.
Give me a gossip roll.
Hey.
Oh, good amount of successes. Okay. Things you'll learn about Rico. So, you will learn that he is a fair captain. That they all think pretty highly of him. Everybody that's on the boat, other than you and Rutger, are employees of Rutger in the mill. They purely operate this barge. Rutger hired them to relay these goods for him. So he doesn't, other than that, they're not really part of the mill consortium, as it were. The old woman at the front is Rico's grandmother. You find that out. And you'll also find out that Rico has been a bit miserable and dour because his wife passed away last year. And he basically took on running this vessel to try to raise money. He is away from home, but he has 2 kids that are being looked after by his sister.
Oh.
So you'll find all that stuff out.
How much are, if I can find out how much they're getting paid by Rutger?
Rutger is paying them 2 shillings each. A shilling
For the
there
whole
and a shilling
thing?
back, yep. Which is that's not bad wages, considering. I mean, you adventuring types pissed away money like crazy. Common folk, that's basically, if you think about it this way, a day's pay for them would buy them a night in a hotel with a meal. That's kind of on par with lower class wages today, really. You think about it. Like, somebody might earn $80 if they're poorly paid. They might just get a hotel, a Motel 6 and a meal for that. So that's about on par with that. But, of course, they get fed while they're on the boat. They probably get to sleep on the boat, so they get to save the majority of that money. So for them, it's probably not a terrible deal.
How long is this trip up? I mean, you said it's like 10 miles and then some. I
It's 10 to 12 miles. Yep.
Slowish going.
You're rowing upriver. You're rowing against the current, so it's fairly slow going. With 6 oars instead of 4, it certainly helps. And it took you several hours to get out of the main estuary, but you'll be there probably by, mid to late afternoon.
And Rico and the crew are supposed to help build the mill?
No.
No, they're just helping him.
They are
materials.
purely operating the boat, and the boat is the means to get the materials there, and that's it.
Okay.
Yep.
While Lena's doing that, I'm going to go to the front of the barge with the old grandmother.
Okay.
And just keep a lookout, I guess, because my steering's not really helpful. I mean, my little arms can't.
Halfling with an oar.
As you kind of walk to the front, one of the Sugani that's rowing grabs your little arm, like as you go to walk by, and he says, "I would not talk to the old woman if I were you. She is a little bit crazy.
Crazy
Grandma
how?
Voldemar is somewhat disturbed in the head."
Oh, I was just going to be lookout for, like, river obstructions while we're going.
Okay.
Wasn't exactly planning to talk to
Yeah, with
her.
that, he just, lets go of your arm and carries on rowing.
So I'm going to approach the front, but
I mean, now you gotta talk to her.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna go to the front, but not next to her necessarily, but just so I could see where we're headed, see if there's
Okay.
any obstructions or anything off on the embankments or whatever, the shore, like that would cause us to be alarmed or whatever.
Okay.
Like a scout, yeah, like
Alright.
a crow's
Yeah, I
nest
mean,
kind
you
of
will
deal.
see kind of various rocks and stuff, but it looks like
Pretty.
the captain
Serene.
knows his way around the river, so he's like staying in the main channel and not getting too close to the edge.
Okay, yeah, I'm definitely staying to the right of the old lady,
Okay.
with decent space away.
She's, as I said, sitting there rocking backwards and forwards with a shawl around her, like muttering under her breath.
Do I hear anything she's muttering?
Do
You're all
you?
gonna die. She can see the future.
There's
I mean,
a
I
roll you
obviously
can
would-
make. You can make a perception skill roll, and if you have any additional benefits to the aspect of your hearing, by all means, utilize those.
I do not, so this is a straight roll. Nope.
Yeah, she's with the wind.
Yeah.
That's kind of blowing as you travel down the river. And with her muttering almost incoherently and very quietly, you can't really make anything out. It's just more of a murmur.
Okay.
Alrighty. Anybody else wish to do anything in particular on this journey? I'm assuming the two dwarves you're rowing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep, just rolling away.
Okay. Lena, did you want to talk to Rico directly, or have you gotten enough information?
I might talk to him a little,
Okay.
but I think I got the information I needed.
Okay. So yeah, he's just kind of standing in the middle of the boat, holding onto a main post and just kind of watching as it goes. And where he's standing, there's like a long bar that goes all the way back to the back of the ship where he's controlling the rudder, which is helping, steer
I might
the ship.
just ask him about his children.
Okay, he kind of looks at you in surprise, and he says, "My children. I have two lovely daughters. My girls need... well, they need many things. Unfortunately, where we live, there is not much opportunity for a boat captain. So I have to travel to Nuln to make ends meet, but I hope to go back and see them sometime soon. Until then, they are in the charge of my sister."
What are their names?
Esmeralda and Linzafel.
Beautiful names.
I said, yes, Esmeralda was my mother's name. Linzafel is my sister's name also.
Okay. Confused me there for a second because I thought that was his mother. That
No,
was
that's
in the
his
boat, but that's his
grandmother. Right.
Okay. I was about to be like,
Inconsistency.
We're on the
Was?
boat with a ghost.
Exactly,
We're
that's
on
what I
the
was
boat with a
thinking.
ghost.
Yep.
New plot.
He says, "Do not mind her or her idle talk about beasts in the forest. We will press on. They will build their mill or whatnot, and we trust in our ancestors. Do not let her ramblings disturb you. Her mind is long since gone."
I'm gonna raise an eyebrow, but I'm not gonna say anything about the beasts in the forest. Comment.
Alrighty. Well, you keep rowing and it starts to get towards afternoon. You specifically said you're up front trying to play what? So give me a visual perception check, Mr. Nelwick.
No, I'm gonna read.
I was about to say, weren't you looking?
He's looking, but is he looking in the right place? Ah.
Nope, I can't see shit.
He's looking in the water.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what I will tell you is you start to see a rustling of the tree line over here. They start to move rather violently, like quite
Cool. I love that for us.
more than normal.
All right. Well, I'm obviously going to walk to the right side of the boat
Okay.
with my eyes now drawn to it. And I am going to gesture to the rower who grabbed my arm
Uh-huh.
and direct his gaze that way. But,
So he continues to row and he looks and he starts to squint. You're unable to see anything in the trees, but the trees are kind of moving. About then,
oh, yay.
More than natural. Supernatural?
As the boat kind of starts to go around the bend of a river, the crazy old woman stands up, like all of a sudden, on her stool and says, praise them, venerations of the ancestors, for they have delivered us from the twisted bends of the river and the beasts of Mattersheim. All praise, and yet no less diligence, for we stray towards the great peril. And then she slumps back down in the chair.
Neat.
Which is fine. And then all of a sudden, with an almighty crash, the barge bucks and shudders as it seems to have struck something the people should have been watching for up for the front, but everybody seemed too busy looking over to the right.
Thought you were looking in the water there, Noah.
The crew struggled to keep their footing as the Trandifer pitches and yaws in the current. The old woman cries out as she flings her arms forward once more. It is upon us! Stray your eyes from the water! And you hear a loud kind of, whoa! And you hear as some of the oars on one side bust. With that happening and everybody rowing like hell because they're all in a panic, the boat starts to shift dramatically to the right. And you hear Captain Rico go, to the left! To the left! And before he hasn't time to do anything else, the boat smashes into the rocks on the side of the river. As soon as that happens, cargo is flung everywhere. I need each of you to make a dexterity skill roll, please.
Agility?
Agility?
Yes, sorry, agility. There's, yep.
Oh,
Wait,
yeah.
what?
What?
Okay.
Why? Why did I waste this roll?
Did all of you roll?
Yeah, I
And
failed.
Lena and Kazadin
Satch.
failed. Okay. So Kazkaya and Nelwick, you kind of stagger, but manage to grab hold of something to steady yourself. Lena, you were firmly near the center of the boat. You are flung to the deck, as is Kazadrin. However, crazy old woman that stood up on the three-legged stool right at the front of the boat just went overboard. Splash.
Oh, well.
Oh, well.
The other crew are kind of like immediately struggling with the boat itself. You can... Captain Ruka comes... Ruka comes running up. What happened? What happened to water? There's water flooding in below! And Rico says, we hit something. He goes, I can tell this! What's going on? What is happening? At that point, you hear one of them say, Rico! Madame Vadoma, she is in the water!
I would be running to the left side because I saw her go over. I'm sure.
Yeah,
so I
you did,
stabilized.
literally.
So I'm gonna reach into my pack and take out a rope that I have.
I mean, there's
For
lots
my-
of rope coiled on the
Oh
ship
yeah.
too.
Well, that
There's
too.
lots of rope
Grab a
strewn
rope.
everywhere now.
Yeah.
I'll grab a rope and tie it in like a harness,
She
like a noose.
is not attempting to swim. She is entirely too old. The current is entirely too strong, and she is going under.
Shit.
I can't really swim, but you know.
Nowick, climb one of the oars. I'm gonna suggest he climbs out on one of them, and I hold up the thing.
Yeah, the oars on the left side are still intact, but that's why the boat smashed to the right, because when the
Oh,
oars
this
on
is
the
really
right side
this
all
is really
busted.
shitty. I'm gonna take one end of the rope and tie it around my waist
Okay.
as tight as I can, like double knot it or whatever, just quick in haste,
All right.
and throw the other side, the end of that rope, that whatever's on the ground, to I guess towards Lena, right?
Okay.
Keskaya would be moving up to try to grab hold of it
And
as
I'll
well.
be like, oh, Esmeralda, protect me, and I'm gonna dive, I'm gonna jump overboard.
All right,
I'm gonna
we're
be
gathering
moving up
the
to
rope
grab
and-
the rope.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so you're all going to grab the rope, and he dives into the water.
Is there a way to angle this oar forward to help give him somewhere to perch?
if you bring it up out of its cradle and kind of lift it and plop it over in that direction, you could certainly do that.
I'd be wanting to try that.
Okay. How are you swimming, Daggett? Or how
I'm
is
doggy
Nelwick
paddling.
handling the river?
He's doggy paddling.
So
He's
you're-
not a swimmer.
Alright, give me
I
a-
always yeah.
Hey, well, you have the skill, so give me a roll. Let's see how well you're doing.
Swim.
This is
He has bad swimming.
My
This is
swim is
really
bad
bad.
too.
I was given the option to
The
take
good
swim
news
or
is,
some other
unlike
skill.
Khazadrin, who is loaded down with so much metal that if he goes in the water, he will sink.
I was pretty sure that they wouldn't be able to pull me back if I went in the water. So
Do I get any
Right.
modifier because I have a rope on me? And...
Not to help you swim, no.
All right. Ugh.
12.
Wow.
Okay. It's only a couple of degrees of failure.
Oh,
So, yeah,
I'm swallowing
you're
water.
paddling.
Yeah.
But I mean,
My
your
swim is
head is
a lot
going
better than
under.
yours.
You're swallowing water. This is an unpleasant scenario for sure. And
I'm
you
trying,
are definitely
motherfucker.
struggling. It's about then that one of the one of the crew members says, "Look, steel pike!"
I'm sorry, what?
Big
Is that what
fish,
we
I'm
hit?
assuming.
Oh shit.
Y'all know what a pike is. Well, see, in the rivers of the old world, they have something that they call steer pike. They can grow up to 20 feet long, although 20-footers haven't been seen except in very rare places, but 8 to 10-footers you see quite frequently. This one is probably about 10 to 12 feet. They are predator fish, and it is making a beeline towards you two.
Change of plan with the oar.
it is now a long weapon.
It is now hopefully going to poke it in the nose.
Okay. Yep, the steer pike is moving in for the strike. So we're going to need some initiative rolls.
Awesome.
Ooh. Okay.
Right, let's see. We've got Lena
Yeah,
with a 40.
Ooh!
Oh, Nelwick.
He's the fastest swimmer.
It's 58 with his initiative at
Drown.
least. So he'll at least get to drown before everybody else.
You can just drown faster. It's fine.
That's right. Khazadrin on a 38. Kazkaya on a 32. Okay, so any chance that any of the crew were going to jump in and help was eliminated the second somebody screamed steer pike. But Rico, it is his grandmother, so
Oh,
he
man.
has a 38 plus a d10. He's 48, so actually he's going. Rico will go there, and then Vivish will roll for a steer pike.
Did our worst swimmer is the one that dove out?
Yes,
yeah,
probably.
but he also has the best chance of not drowning given the weight. Minus you, probably.
49.
I think
I
you were
mean-
the only better option for
My
that.
swim
I mean,
is
I
not much
considered
better.
it, but
I mean,
Nelwick
I'm-
dove off first, so.
Look, Nelwick has said time and time again he hates the water. He doesn't do the water, but he's also just a good dude. And
He's not,
he
gonna,
just-
not this
it's
old.
an
He's not gonna just
instinct.
watch this old woman die, right? And he was
Yeah,
smart
he's
enough to
just-
tie himself off. Okay, well, Nelwick.
Shit. Well, yeah.
So, give me another swim
We can-
roll
we
to
can
see
recover
how
his
much.
body.
To see if you can gain any distance between yourself and the old woman, or if you lose distance, or if her floating away and you paddling are about the same.
Let's go! I'm re-rolling!
Yes, reroll the swimming.
Now, can I still take the 31 if I roll worse? Or do
No.
I have to take
Oh,
the
that's not how it works.
A reroll is a reroll.
Hey!
Okay, so
that's
it's
better.
only a degree of failure. So she is kind of drifting, and you're paddling, but she's gotten a little bit further away from you.
Is she just like not doing anything in the water?
Yeah,
She's
he
just-
said
just
she's
there?
old
I
and
mean,
tired.
she's so
What?
old and decrepit.
She
She's
can paddle.
basically like just flailing her arms and going under and gulping water. I mean, she'll drown
Shit,
if
yeah.
no one gets to her
Alright.
pretty quick.
Alright.
Okay, where is Rico on the boat?
How's that ore coming?
Yeah, I don't know. We'll find out.
Hang on, I gotta go grab a Rico. I don't have him on here. No, I don't have him on there either. Let me grab a
Make
Rico.
a Rico.
Rico Suave. There's you guys. Oh, I do have him. I do have him on there. Okay, yep. At this point, he is going to leap and dive in. He has a 44 swim.
Much better. Now he's got to save his grandmother.
But
and
he is
Nelwick.
not doing much. The second he hits the water, the current is pulling him down the river as well. So you've got Nelwick above poor old Grandma Vidoma. You've got Rico fighting against the current and her floating in that direction. Okay, it is Pike Boy. 1d10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Who looks
Yep.
the most tasty to our little fishy?
Well, obviously the old lady looks more tasty than the halfling.
It is
Marinated.
her. Okay, the fish comes in, and it is going to make an attack to latch on and bite the old lady. The young steerpike. In the water, that's nasty. Yeah, it grabs her.
There was never a hope.
Bite wounds. Okay, what you
Oh, she's
see
dead.
is basically the fish breach the water, latch onto her like two legs, and then whoosh, and down she goes under the water.
Oh.
You hear Rico go, "No!" as he fights against the water. Lena, do you have anything you wish to do, my dear?
Okay, so I'm gonna look around on the boat. Is there any kind of like ranged weapon or anything I can?
One of the two crewmen to your right does have a crossbow.
Okay,
But
I
they're in
am.
a panic. They're not even considering the pulling out of a crossbow.
Well, I am. I'm
Okay.
grabbing it and.
Snatch up the crossbow. It is loaded.
I'm gonna make sure that Kazkaya has a good
Parts
hold
are a
on the
thing.
rope.
I've got a good hold on the rope.
Okay.
All right, so I'm going to the edge.
Okay. And I'm assuming you're going to put the old lady out of her misery and shoot her.
Well, I'm not gonna try to.
Oh, okay. I'm kidding. All right, what do you want to do with your crossbow of justice?
I'm wanting to go after the fish.
Okay.
I don't have anything for this weapon written down though.
Well, just ballistic
Your
skill,
ballistic
That's
skill.
basic ballistic
I
skill.
can just do that. Okay.
Yep. Whatever your ballistic skill is.
Ooh, okay. It's not great.
But it's
Oh,
a
but
good
that's
shot.
Ooh.
Where did you
Wow.
hit the beastie? What location?
In the arm.
Body blow. Well, it's mostly body, so that would make sense. Um,
In
You
the
hit it
one
in the
beefy
right
arm
leg.
off the back of
the
its
one
neck.
arm that
The
the fish
right
has.
leg of the pie.
The right
You
leg
got
of the
the
old
one
lady.
fin. You got one fin. That's what you hit.
Right.
So it's like 1d10 plus.
And it's a crossbow, so a crossbow is a d10 plus 4. Not a bad shot. 12.
Damn.
Wow.
That's a good
Oh
shot.
my god.
Justice, guys. Justice.
Justice.
Crossbow
It goes
of
after
justice.
even fish.
Right.
Justice
Even
eating goes
fish
after
needs to be
fish.
justified.
Alrighty, take off. Let's do 8 wounds. Okay, let's see. So 8. It's a 40% chance. Okay. 40 or less, it lets go of the old lady. Otherwise, it maintains its grip. 5% per wound inflicted. Less toughness. So, nope, it's keeping hold of her. You plugged it good, but it's still got hold of the old lady. Kazadrin.
I think I made my intentions pretty
So
clear.
you've got your big old stick.
I'm gonna try to beat it with the big old stick.
You're gonna like, okay. Improvised weapon, so half your weapon skill. Big old splash on the water.
I'll just hit the roll button. So half of my
Dang
weapon
fish didn't
skill
get its
is
humaning license,
49.
right?
Half of 49, so I give it minus half of 49. That's 20. Is it rounded down or up?
Probably up, so just whatever.
Minus
things round up.
24.
Yeah, no, that's not gonna.
Alright, so you
So you
basically splash, and the big wide oar just makes a huge splash on the water, which is great. Just confuses the whole situation.
I do just kind of want to keep the ore out there though, so that terrestrial people might be able to use it.
Show me the angle of which you're trying to hold the oar. Just use the measuring thingy to show me.
I
where
imagine I
the-
would have unhinged it, and then if Lena's
Yeah.
there now, it would be a little difficult. I might perch her on the top here and,
Oh, I can
and drop
probably
it there.
move my token
You want
down.
no snapping.
That's like the
so-
shortest distance.
yeah, do no snapping
yeah.
on it, and then. Oh, I was gonna say just
I
use
used
the.
the pen tool instead. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So but that's where it is. So it's from here to here.
Yeah.
So it's resting between Nelwick and the old lady.
Yeah. So
Okay.
he could maybe grab it and pull himself there, or
Gotcha.
whatever he needs
Okay.
to do.
I mean, the water is running south, so inevitably
It'll flow that way. but
Nelwick
with her.
is going to flow to it. So
Yeah.
Nelwick could certainly grab hold of it if he wishes. Kazkaya, anything you want to do?
I'm keeping the rope loose ish. Like loose enough that he can move,
Okay.
but not so loose that the current takes it too far.
Gotcha.
So I'm just trying to control his rope so that I can easily pull him back if things start to turn.
More.
Turn bad.
Yeah.
Okay, Nelwick. You can either grab hold of the oar or you
Oh.
can keep swimming.
Oh no, I'm grabbing hold of the oar,
Okay.
and I am actually I'm gonna take out my knife.
Okay.
But you said the fish is underwater. How far down is it actually?
I mean, it just grabbed her and
He's pulling
started
an old
down,
lady,
so
right?
it's kind of close. I mean, if you wanted to swim towards it with a successful swim roll, you might be able to get a stab at it.
All right, but I am grabbing hold of the thing. I kind of want to just hoist myself over it so the rope is over the oar, kind of.
You could do that.
And then try to swim down and stab. That's not gonna work. I have shit stats in all of this.
If you're gonna put the time and energy into clambering over the oar and pulling the rope over, that's what.
It's not enough time.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So,
So it's either do that or
desperation.
just swim for the fish and try to stab it. It's one of the two.
I'll do that one instead because it's like we're in desperation mode.
Okay.
Right? So.
All right. Give me a swim roll. See, so all of a sudden you realize
one of these is gonna work. I swear. No.
Damn.
My final reroll. I'm wasting it all on the shittiest roll that I have in my
a 12,
repertoire.
man. The odds of getting a 12.
Nope.
Oh,
Hey,
it's
how did
terrible.
you do that
Hell
much
no.
worse?
Okay, yeah.
Or put
all
the
right,
odds
so-
on it. Drown.
I'm drowning. I'm like,
well, no, I was about to say, you're basically caught in the undertow. So now
Yeah,
you have
I'm
a secondary
struggling.
problem because now your little halfling dude has been pulled underneath by the current, and you can see him going.
As it starts to pull, I would tighten.
Okay.
Like if it's pulling him under, I'm gonna be tightening the rope and pulling it back to get him above again.
Okay, so you're
You see
gonna
it.
start on basically pulling. Okay.
I've reemerged with my knife. And
Rico is next. Okay, Rico.
Come on, Rico.
Swimming as best he can with his 44. He is. Oh no, he is. Basically, Rico is not strong enough. The current is pulling him faster than he can fight against it. So he is definitely going down.
What is the crew doing?
Screaming and yelling up the side, going, "Swim! Swim! Save her!
Oh, you
save her!"
useless bastards.
But they are not jumping in the water with that fucking fish. That's just not. That's beyond.
Well, they don't have to jump in,
What
but
was
I
that
mean,
about?
we don't need
They're
more
getting
people
paid
drowning.
a shilling. No, we'll row a boat for a shilling. We're not diving in the water with a 12-foot carnivorous fish for a shilling.
Sure.
Yeah, but this isn't for Rutger. This is for their captain.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but they also said she was crazy, and she's an old lady. And it's Warhammer.
That's his.
Let
That's
the bitch
his
die,
grandmother,
you know?
not
Come on.
their grandmother. All right.
Oh, you know it's going to be so hard for Lena not to scold the shit out of these people afterwards.
Oh. Yep.
Okay. The pike, basically after its strike, does what typical pike do. They suddenly spin and veer off in the opposite direction, which it is doing. Lena, it takes an entire round to reload a crossbow, so you can't shoot again this turn.
Yeah, I'm reloading, and I have
Give me
the
that
longest
bolt,
string of
dumbass.
obscenities.
Okay, you're gonna reload.
Yeah, and I am
Kazkaya
bitching
is
a
pulling the
blue
rope
streak at the crew.
to pull. Okay, so basically,
I would probably also try to be pulling, maybe like stepping this way.
well, Kazadrin, what were you going to do before Kazkaya?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I have the oar in the water still. I'm just going to kind of lend it over towards the captain so he can grab onto it because he's not gaining any.
Okay, so you're going to kind of like plow down and like put the oar closer to where he is, so he's got something to grab
Yes.
hold of. Okay.
Yep.
All right. So Kazkaya, you're say that again. I mean,
I'm gonna kind of move a little bit more towards the front of the ship and pull it kind of like back up current as I'm pulling him out of the water
okay.
to see if maybe I can give him a little bit of current leverage on the current so he can maybe
Not drown.
not drown, and also if he wants to go back out, move that direction more easily.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Yeah.
Rico.
She'd go back out, so
Okay.
she doesn't know that he won't.
And yes, and you've thrown the you throw the order out to where Rico is. All right, Nelwick, what do you want to do?
Oh, yeah, I'm clambering up the barge again and flopping on the deck
Okay.
with the last of my strength as I'm coughing water.
Which is understandable. Rico at this point, realizing the futility of his efforts and the exhaustion, is going to just throw his arms over the boat and grab hold of it. Over the oar, sorry.
Yep.
The fish has disappeared from view at this point. It's deep enough and dark enough. It's only fair to assume at this point that the crazy old lady is fish food. Rico will pull his way up the oar and clamber out.
I'll help him up, yeah.
Okay. Unfortunately, that's probably about it. That's about all anybody can really do. Rico will kind of spit and cough water up, which is probably exactly what Nelwick is doing at this point in time. The young captain is... Oh my god, I am so sorry. I am so sorry. How did this happen? How did we strike these rocks? And one of the crew says, "It was a darn fish. The fish broke through our oars on the right side, which caused us to veer too sharply to the right and strike the rock. Because the fish is to blame for all of this."
Does this sound right?
I mean, when you're rowing a boat, it basically... actually, it would be the other way around. These would have been the oars that broke. But, like, if you're only rowing one side, the boat turns, right? So if you're rowing... You're sitting in a boat and you're pulling this way, the boat is going to turn.
It's going to turn,
way.
right.
Yeah. So it actually would have been the oars on the other side. These oars would have...
No, this was correct.
broke, yeah.
Because you're pushing it faster on one side, so it would have
But that's
turned that
basically
way.
what happened, yes. And so when those oars broke and they were frantically rowing, the boat veered violently to the right and smoosh.
I think what Spookman was, does it make sense that a fish would have the intelligence to do that?
It's probably
That
not
seems-
that it did. I mean, it's unlikely it did it on purpose, but I mean, this fish was certainly big enough to snap through these wooden oars, yes.
Sure, okay.
I just want to know that that's really what happened, not one of them messed
It's
up.
viable. Something broke the
Yeah,
oars.
it does seem possible. We saw the size of that fish. It was nearly the length of the boat.
But, you know,
Like,
Sarah McLachlan. Oh, Mythical Paladin, too soon. Still too soon.
Could I do, I mean, as this is being said, can I do like an outdoor survival? Because, I mean, I might not be of the water, but
Sure.
it's, you know, because yes, it makes sense to me, but okay.
I mean, it is entirely... Something broke those oars, yes. I mean...
Right,
So unless they all smashed, unless they all struck rocks, in the big scheme of things, does it matter?
Sure.
The boat crashed because the oars broke. Why the oars broke, you can, you know, is kind
Right,
of...
I was just thinking, like, can I see the oar damage, like, as it's been hoisted, Rico's been hoisted up? But I guess
one side,
yeah,
all
like,
the oars are smashed through, or two of them.
they're
are
all smashed through. All right.
yeah.
Okay.
So you basically got, you know, half an oar. But Rico is like, "I should never have let her come. I knew better, but she kept on and on and on. Her crazy ramblings about needing to go to Nelwick. Something about the craziness of her incessant ramblings eventually was driving my sister crazy, so I brought her with me to give her peace, and now look what has happened. And what? My livelihood, it is ruined. The boat is destroyed." With that, Rutger says, "Well, I can do little to console you about your grandmother, I'm afraid, but I feel terrible, so I will at least pay for the repairs for your boat or reimburse you for the cost of the vessel."
I'm
of
gonna
which-
raise an eyebrow when he says that.
Rico doesn't really seem... You know, it was a kind offer, but he doesn't really seem particularly bothered. He says, with that being said, this vessel is going nowhere. Perhaps we need to make our way onto the shore and the road and make the rest of the way on foot."
A lot of cargo.
What of the cargo?
Well, Rico and the crew will just have to bring as much as they can, and we will have to burden ourselves as best we can. Obviously, we can't bring the timbers, but the rope and some of the crates, they contain the nails and some pulleys and some things that we cannot do without. We bought these particularly fashioned timbers to make our task a lot easier, but perhaps one of you has some talents in carpentry?
Can't be too different than rock.
So, we'll just have to put in a little hard work, I suppose, but, with that, Rika's like, everybody off the ship.
Could we float the timber down the road?
Get on shore.
I mean, down the...
The problem is the timber is going to go with the current, and we are
Oh, yeah,
heading upriver. Because, of course, the timbers will find their way back to Nuln, but it does us
You
no
could
good.
tether the boat and run it dry here, and then maybe come back with a cart.
I untie the rope from my waist and very clumsily, due to being kind of tired, get on shore.
Okay.
Scramble on
Right.
shore.
Is there some kind of cloth maybe we could use to make something that we
Yeah,
could pull?
there's some things that you can kind of use to, make like a makeshift, whatever they call those things that cowboys use.
You know what I'm saying?
You
Like,
don't have
put down
horses,
like
but
a-
you have
like a
dwarves, so
cloth,
you know.
and then put timber on top of it, and then maybe we could drag it.
Yeah, you could make like a drag cart, maybe.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
If we had time.
Yeah, there's some cloth and stuff, so you can make a couple of drag carts, load it down, and the stronger, burlier individuals amongst you, which seem to be predominantly dwarvish, could pull those, I suppose.
Should we run
mean-
the ship
Last I think, yeah.
aground, though? I think we should, just take a bit of rope and kind of tie it on the ship, and we could run it aground and then come back. for
Well,
it.
the boat is pretty much firmly aground, and it's as this big, huge rock here is embedded in its side pretty heftily.
Okay.
So it's... I mean, the most you could do is maybe tie a few ropes to the side of the boat and wrap it around a tree just to make sure it doesn't break loose and flow down the river south. Yeah, it's already kind of moored up here.
I mean, we would do that if we need to make more than one trip.
It's not to lose materials if we can help it.
Alrighty, well then, that's what you guys are going to be doing. Let me grab your group token real quick. And move you to this map. Bye-bye, Boaty.
An old lady's drowned.
Well, she's probably getting eaten by the fish.
Oh yeah, it's probably fish food now.
But yeah, she probably drowned before that happened, so...
Well, I guess I'd rather she drown first. It's relatively
Not be
painless.
eaten alive.
Yeah.
I don't know, drowning's pretty horrific.
It's not a nice way to go.
Oh,
But
okay,
here's
at
the thing:
first,
she
but
got
then,
bit
you hit
first for
the-
12
yeah.
wounds.
An
Yeah, so
elderly
she,
old
died.
lady, there's a fairly
She
good
got
chance
bit
that
first.
that her legs were busted and broken, and she probably died of blood loss. I mean, 20% chance of dying of blood loss, and we know how long that takes typically.
He's still in there! Running into the river.
She's still alive, guys. She's still alive. We can get her.
Well, okay, so you gather up all the main supplies that you can. Rutger says, I know that this was not part of our agreement. We will, of course, pay you extra, and while you were unable to save the old lady, your heroics did not go unnoticed, young fellow. And with that, he kind of pats Nelwick on the shoulder.
I'm starting to understand where all this dude's money is going.
He's
Yeah,
just
he just throws money.
pays everybody everything. Okay, well, as you trudge down the road towards the camp, the shadows lengthen as an evening chill begins to set in. Obviously, with this happening, it's taken you a little longer to get to camp than it would have done. The Shogani laborers are hefting their materials as best they can that were salvaged from the wreck, grumbling and casting resentful looks in the direction of Rooter as they do so. For his part, Rooter
It's not
maintains
his fault.
a sunny disposition, though there are moments when He drops his guard and looks pensive and drained. Every so often, he loudly declares, still the journey is nearly at an end. But these pronouncements seem to have little to do with the actual progress that you guys are making.
That's ominous.
Very.
I think he's just saying it to try to
any
keep
of
his
you
own
want
spirits
to
up.
talk to Rico or Rutger on your trudge?
On the journey, I will absolutely go to Rico and in a very meek voice go, I'm sorry. I tried. I really did.
He says, it was a admirable attempt. Unfortunately, she was old. Her mind had gone. She probably did not even realize what was happening at her final moments. In one way, it is a small mercy that she should go much quicker than slow and a drawn-out affair of little more than drifting madness.
I'm not going to say anything else. I'm just going to walk in silence kind of near him.
Okay. All right.
Dragging whatever I'm carrying from the ship.
Anybody else wish to talk to any of these guys?
I imagine I'm just out of breath from dragging all of this shit. So...
Yeah, y'all are probably
Yeah,
hoofing
we're
it.
probably tired.
Okay. Lena, does she have anything she wants to ask or say to these guys?
She's mostly just listening.
Okay. Then you're listening to virtual silence because nobody is really saying anything. Everybody's kind of in a pretty shitty-ass mood right now. So if not prompted to speak, they're just head down, shrugged shoulders, and plowing on. Alrighty. Well, in that case, just as the evening starts to settle in, you guys will find yourselves arriving at
Hey, there's a cart!
large... It's a wagon, yeah. Okay. Yep. Wander into camp. Rutger says, well, here we are. As you can see, we've made quite a bit of progress, although it has taken us a long time to get here.
Okay, so I guess we start putting the materials away.
Okay. He says, oh, you do not need to worry about that. Just put them all down here. I'll have the other crew members take a break and I'll get my laborers to help. Now then, where is he? Where is he? Salgrim! Salgrim, I say! Where are you? With that, over here, like next to a chopping log, you see a thick, black-bearded dwarf get up with a groan. Salgrim, come here! He comes stomping over.
Kazkaya's gonna lean over to Kazadrin and be like, I think he might know Dwarven.
Once the dwarf comes over to him, he clambers, off of his perch. His head comes carrying over. Back so soon, manling. Which Ruta says, well, yes, yes, well, we had a bit of mishap on the river. These kind people prove very useful in the event, actually. I was hoping we could sort them out with a little compensation. And further, I have hired them to do some of the tasks around camp. You know the ones. The matters that the Stigani are well reluctant to do. He fishes inside of his jerkin and removes a large brass key on a chain from around his neck. Perhaps you could take the chest to Stiegler's caravan and sort out some silver for them. At which point, Thulgrim takes the key, grumbles, and says, fair enough. With that, he says, if you'll excuse me just a second, and follow him.
Oh, he wants us to follow him?
Yeah, he wants you guys to follow the dwarf.
Okay.
Who is walking over to the brightly painted caravan that is over here. Is step this way.
How is he stepping so that I might also do it?
Slowly
speech.
and unenthusiastically, let's put it that way.
We're probably the same at this point.
Right. As you're walking away, you can hear Rutger saying, well, obviously, you're not laborers, but, I know it's a long journey back. Feel free to wander back to Mattersheim if you'd like to stay there, but if not, I'm sure we can find you a bed for the night. You and your two crewmen.
Yeah, I'm gonna stand kind of back because I want to hear what they're saying.
Rico just kind of says, that'd be favourable. He says, oh, well, then step this way. There are beds inside the mill. And he'll, like, usher them inside the mill and disappear from view. Okay. When he gets up, as you start approaching, the dwarf kind of stops before he gets to the caravan. He says, so, boat come a cropper, did it? He said, still, these folks out with the salvage. Is that what happened? He goes, was it that Dan Fulrico couldn't pilot his own boat?
Forge was attacked, really.
Attacked, eh? Be what?
Oh, what are they calling it? Some kind of steel pike or something.
A steer pike? Don't see many of them of any real size in this river anymore. That's unfortunate. Very unfortunate.
Did enough to put the hole in the side of the boat, send us off course, and send
Attack
us.
the boat? Must have been a
Oh, grandmother
whopper.
grandmother went overboard, was dragged underwater. We never saw her after.
Oh, really? Well, that's a crying shame for poor old Rico. Still, what happens if you take people without sea legs on boats? I don't tend to trust them myself.
Trust who?
Boats.
Boats.
Things that float. Dwarves were never meant to float. We're a little too dense for that. And with that, he's kind of like eyeing you all up and down. He said, so, where do you hail from, lass? And he's looking at Lena when he says that.
Give her a second, she can't remember. Oh, I come from very modest beginnings. Born in a hovel in Averland.
Averland. Pleasant enough place. And you're a mooty, I suppose. As he looks at the little fellow.
I mean, yes, for ease of use, yes. Originally from Osland.
Right. Well, now. He said, and two of the kinfolk. He says, looking at Khazadrin, he says, fallen on hard times, have we? Working as
God,
a
are we supposed to be
humble
discreet
labourer.
with a dwarf?
He says, but looks like you were a hammerer at some point. I
I'm gonna
recognize
hold up
that
my
shield.
shield. Yeah, it's got the thing, and I'm just gonna be like, truth be told, this one here, and I'm gonna gesture to the human and be like, he manages to find us plenty of battles, and this one here, I'm going to gesture to my sister. He's in
He
dire
says,
need
oh,
of
I'm
battles.
well aware of what that is.
Hmm.
And he kind of says it with some level of disdain.
Lena's gonna look
Stayed
very
back for a
uncomfortable.
reason. Like, I stayed behind my brother for a reason.
Lena's gonna look very uncomfortable because she's gonna be like, "Why didn't I think of the fact that another dwarf would know what she
Yeah.
was?"
So then I'm gonna be like, speaking of which, it sounds like there's a bit of some kind of problem requiring certain attentions. Wouldn't happen to be in our alley.
He says, nothing needs killing, if that's what you mean.
And internally, Cascaya goes, "Damn it!"
But there are some jobs that these damn, well, strange wanderer folk won't attest to that you might. Aye, I'm sure there's ample jobs that you can do around here. Put you to work, as it was. Well, I'll let his lordship give you more of a rundown of that. In morning. Certainly won't gonna want to do it tonight, that's for sure.
What tone does he say his lordship in?
A little bit disconcerted, a little bit kind of disrespectfully.
Uh-huh.
He says, well, he says, I recognise that standard on that shield. He said, what about you, Slayer? Where are you from?
Same place.
Ah, both of you. Well, at least it's good to know that there are still plenty of honourable clans up there, but, it would be rude to ask what you did.
I would be.
It's like you see me get like ready to smack his ass. Just
He
the
says,
mention.
well, we don't want no trouble here. So don't go looking to bring us any. Do you understand? I'm sure
Aye.
if you wandered around in the woods, you'd find something to get your axe into. But either you're going to
Under
go
my
ahead and
breath.
get yourself killed and piss something off that comes and upsets the rest of us.
Under my breath, I mumble, "We don't bring trouble, we fix it."
He says, well, the doors, he goes, the window's got the curtain across, so she's entertaining at the moment. And almost as he says that, you see the back door of the wagon open, and a gentleman kind of steps out with a sword on his back and a scar on his cheek. And he says, good day, my lady. And you see, like, holding the door open is a woman with, like, long blonde hair and a brimmed hat on her head. She lets out a big yawn and she says, soon enough. And then she sees all of you crowded outside, of which Thulgrim then looks up to her and says, excuse me, miss. He said, but, we have business. And she says, oh, for pity's sake. He says, well, turns out that, the boat run a cropper, and these folk helped out. Ruta says that he wants to see them compensated, and appropriately. Well compensated, if possible. You see her roll her eyes very theatrically. As if my esteemed partner hasn't already demonstrated his incompetence and profligacy, dwarf. I already have a sight rammed full of so-called assets that Stubborn failed to swear for me. I'll bring that chest inside and set it on the floor. At which point he brings the big chest in that he brought in and clunks it down, and when you hear it hit the floor, you hear it's obviously full of coin. He says, but I'll not authorize the spending of a single brass penny until I see some progress. And then she says, anything else you want? You'll have to wait till morning. I'm tired. He seems content to accept that. But it looks like she's not willing to compensate you, even though Rutger instructed that she should. He's like, as you wish. And he just walks past you and starts heading back over towards the mill. Do any of you wish to say anything to this woman? Or are you going to accept that and...
I'm gonna actually step up to her.
Okay.
Your partner.
Yes. Rutger Rota, he is indeed my business partner.
Appointed by Master Rota?
No, he is Master Rota. He has his own finances. He doesn't
I
work
just
for
look
his
very
father, if
confused.
that's what you mean, but I'm sure that his funding comes from such a place.
Oh, I see.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I am very tired. It has been a long day. We can talk in the morning.
Hmm. I'm just gonna step away.
He says, will you be leaving with the boat? Oh,
Oh,
that's
no.
right, the boat come a cropper. Will you be leaving on foot tomorrow?
Oh no, you'll be seeing a lot of me.
Oh, why are you here then? I thought you were crew from the
Oh
boat.
no, we came to help here at the mill.
Oh. Well then, perhaps we started on the wrong foot. If so, I ask for your forbearance. I'm not usually like this. Things have, been stressful recently and of late. I tell you what, let's all try to get a good, decent night's rest, and in the morning we can work out a mutual agreeable arrangement, yes? I assume whatever Ruta has promised you, I will double, and unlike him, I keep my promises.
Does he not tend to keep promises?
He's a little free with his promises and his language sometimes. He means well, but, we have a saying where I come from, up in the Midland, that, sometimes his mouth incurs debt that his coin purse lacks in. That makes sense.
You know, even though I haven't known him very, very long, I think I get what you mean.
And my manners. Johanna Stiegler. That's my name.
Oh, nice to meet you, Johanna.
I am the second partner of Ruta and Stiegler Enterprises. We are trying to get this accursed mill up and running, but we are way behind schedule, and it has already cost significantly more than it was supposed to.
Why?
Various different reasons. Increased costs of materials, laborers taking much longer than anticipated, mishaps on the job, things like that.
Anything that you feel is sabotage?
I wouldn't think sabotage is the word.
Or just
Mostly
misfortune?
just misfortune. He says, I'm assured that Thulgrim is a good craftsman, but craftsman is only good as the tools and the help that he has. And, well, it's difficult to find skilled laborers out here. Fortunately, Rutger did agree that when he went to Nong to get supplies, he would find some, and here you are, so excellent. Hopefully you'll help achieve things and get us back on track. Now,
We'll certainly do our best.
there is some bedding in the mill. Other than that, most of the tents are preoccupied. I don't have room here, and I'm sure Rutger's, and she kind of points at this tent over here. I'm sure he has more than nothing but clutter in his. So, I'm afraid you'll have to either talk to some of the laborers to see if they will put you up, or you'll have to figure out some kind of makeshift lean-to or something for yourself. Other than that, you're welcome to sleep on the floor inside the mill.
We'll manage. Thank you.
Well, I'll see you all in the morning.
I'm gonna wander back to the group.
Okay.
So no one seems to really like Rutger. Or find him competent.
Well, I mean, he's not, so that's that.
I mean, we haven't really seen much of whether or not he's competent. He was downstairs most of the journey. He does
He
seem
did
the
make
type
a
to.
pretty astute observation that the boat was, in fact, run aground that one time, so
He did hire us without any knowledge of our skills, though.
there was no interview.
Yeah, he pretty much
There
asked
was
you
no
if you
talk
could
of our
help. You said you
compensation.
could, and he was like, "It's good enough for me."
No
We'll
talk
put
of
it this way:
compensation. No formal
it won't
agreement.
be difficult to be discreet.
No
about-
question how we heard about him. Nothing.
Nope, you could be anybody.
Well, I mean, that all aside, let's not forget that apparently that lady didn't compensate us as said we should be. About what? Because she thought we were part of the sea crew.
Are you concerned about that?
No, but she said I always honor my payments and and then she didn't. She just said, "I
because it
promise
wasn't
money,
her.
I'll get you paid."
I feel like
It wasn't
she's
her
more-
agreement. It was
Okay.
Rutgers.
Just I
Right,
mean,
but she did say he didn't keep his agreements, but it was her that didn't keep his agreements.
exactly. This is something to keep in mind.
She's the one who chose not to keep his agreement.
So he might be
She
incompetent,
also said
but
that
she
he
might.
makes deals that he does seem quite frivolous.
Agreed. It's just a little.
Yeah,
Just
she
something to
said,
keep
let's
in
all
mind."
try to get a decent night's rest, and in the morning we can work out a mutually agreeable arrangement. I assure you, whatever Rutger had promised you, I will double, but unlike him, my promises are always kept.
Right, but that has nothing to do with compensation for the
But
heroics we
also,
tried.
she's the
Roots.
reason his promise isn't kept. His promise would be kept if she didn't block it.
Right. Yes. I
Look, this is
agree.
this is politics 101. It's politics 101. You promised us something. Yes, well, they stopped me from giving it to you, but they promised they'll give it to you if you side
and they
with
are
them.
business partners.
Yeah.
Well, but he's making promises he can't keep because he's not in charge of the money, it sounds like.
And double nothing is still nothing.
He didn't tell us how much he was going to pay us, so...
Yeah, never
but that we would be compensated,
But
and
Lena,
compensation
he
implies
does-
money, but it might be experience.
Well,
We're
No,
unpaid
no,
interns,
but
guys.
I just think we should keep in mind that he might be incompetent. He might not know how to do any business transactions, but he does seem like a decent fellow. in
Oh, I
all
never
other
said he was
regards.
a bad guy.
So
He may not be
she
competent.
is trying to hold off on paying us. That smells slightly of some other problem that we just need to be mindful of. That's all I'm saying. Just I get a vibe off of her. Like, what was that guy who came out? Was he? What was that about?
Really seemed like something that wasn't any of our business.
I mean, but that's exactly what our business is, right? To come to the bottom of what's been happening here. So
Yes, boy.
only to find out why everything's taking so long and costing so much. What she does in the wagon is her business if it doesn't have anything to do with either of those things.
fair enough.
But if she is entertaining guests, as he put it, and one of said guests is maybe her business partner, that might explain the exorbitant costs that he's accruing. Not just
How do you mean?
well, he seems to be paying everyone for every possible thing.
Yes, but she's the business partner who was entertaining someone.
All I'm saying, Lena, is I get a vibe from her. A not too wholesome vibe, you know?
Yeah, but I mean, the dwarf was sketchy too. We've run into a bunch of sketchy people.
I mean, the dwarf just seemed downright rude to Kazkaya, who, in my eyes, doesn't
understandable.
deserve it. No,
It's
you don't deserve
understandable.
it. You don't deserve that.
She's
Well,
gonna
to
go get
us-
Khazadrin, like...
it has to do with
I'm going to once again kick the halfling.
It's about our cultural
Ow.
differences, Nelwick.
I know. I'm just saying from my perspective.
It's quite fascinating,
It was
actually. I should write
undeserved.
it down later.
Don't kick me again, and I'm going to look at Cassandrin. That really
as you guys
hurts.
are having the discussion, you've noticed that a whole bunch of the laborers, all of which also have dark skin, so it looks like the laborers are also all of this particular group of people. They have all made their way to tents, and the dwarf has like put away his tools and stuff, and he's making his way towards the mill.
Okay, so all the other workers have
They're all
disappeared.
they're all just clambering
They're all
into
tucking in for
tents
bed,
and
yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
We don't get quiet soon. I'm pretty sure they're gonna want to make us quiet.
Gore, what's the weather this evening? Like
So
is it-
I mean, it's dry. It's not raining, but there was
Is
that
it-
kind of evening mist, so it's a bit damp and humid, but it's not raining.
Probably fashion a bit of a platform out of
And the dwarf did,
go-kart.
they did say if you wanted to, you could sleep inside the mill on the floor if you wanted, or you can go and talk to one of the workers to see if that they would share their tent with any of you.
Yeah, I'd actually take my sling bag has camping gear, so
Okay.
I'd honestly sit by this fireplace, kind of strew some of my equipment out in front of me, try to light
I
a
have
little
basic
fire.
camping gear as well.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
Yeah,
we all
most
do.
of you
I'll
have got
camp
the ability,
outside.
so you can, if you want, you can just like camp around the fire.
I also want to be out here so that I see when the ship crew are leaving.
Okay. All right. Well, it is nighttime, and are you guys wanting to set up any kind of watch, or are you just going to trust that this is a safe camp and just get a good night's sleep?
I don't trust it.
Yeah, I mean, I
Same.
think we would talk it out because I want to know what all's going on. They don't seem to be worried about anything attacking at night, but I want to be wary because I don't believe them when they say that it's just misfortune.
These characters are altogether too interesting for me to trust them with all of my belongings.
I'm
and
sorry,
not
you're
have
too
one of us-
interesting for me to trust.
You guys are funny because Nelwick is exhausted from the day, so he's sleeping.
Well, yeah, you
Okay.
I
drowned.
mean, you almost drowned,
Ouch.
so I mean, you know,
Yeah.
you're probably
Yeah,
fatigued
I'm by the
anyway.
campfire in my
I
little
have
sleeping
seen
bag. Yep.
too little action for me to be that calm.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think
Well, I
between
don't
the two
mind-
of us,
I don't mind working it out with the dwarfs to take
Yeah.
watches.
I think between the dwarves you could have it covered.
Well, we also
Plus
need
we
good
have
night's
darker
sleep because I
vision.
have to.
Oh,
I
you
have
need
to actually
rest,
heal,
yeah.
so I actually have to heal, rest, at least a
Okay.
full night.
Yep.
Well then, yeah, you could.
So I would take a
Get back.
watch, but I would have to sleep for part of it.
Yep. You got to have a good night's rest if you're going to
Yeah.
contribute towards getting healed up.
Yup. And I need
Actually,
help.
well,
I have a
you
feeling
got
we're gonna
healed
get.
by her, didn't you?
I did.
Which got
But
you
I'm
above
not
your 3,
full.
so you're at least healing a point a day. Yeah.
Right. I just want to make sure that I get that point because I'm not full yet.
Points matter, right?
And I'm pretty sure you're gonna try and kill us tomorrow.
Why wait till
Why start
tomorrow?
Do it now.
You know.
Okay. So who's taking first watch?
I guess Khazadrin.
So everybody else is asleep?
Yeah, I prefer to take the last watch because I want to be
So
awake
how many
when they go to
watches are
leave,
there
so-
total is what I want to know.
3.
3.
Okay. First watch, uneventful. Everybody's asleep. Who's getting up for the second watch?
I will.
Okay. You're up for the second watch. By the time the third watch comes around, even before you have woken whoever it is you intend to wake,
Mm-hmm.
the other 3 all wake up, like in a jolt at the same time. Each of you awakes with a jolt, your heart hammering against your ribs. You have memories of a nightmare that began peeling away as soon as you awoken, but you remember a straw bed, fire consuming a hut, great claws grasping and binding you with twine. You recall the reflection of the chaos moon glistening on the waters in and around Mattersheim, being consumed by a great and angry eye. Your back was pressed down on a stone slab, though you remember nothing save an intense anguish, a sense of having lost everything, forlorn forever. That basically, if you slept during that section, does not count as rest. So actually, Kazkaya, you were kind of lucky that you didn't sleep then, because that would have ditched your day of rest. And it will cost everybody else their day of rest, so you don't get a point back tomorrow if you were asleep during that period. Unless you sleep in.
What time of night was this about?
Oh, shortly after midnight.
Oh,
like
that's
it was
good.
The second watch started just before midnight and drifted through midnight, and basically for about an hour y'all had a really fun nightmare, and then I woke up at like 1 a.m. going all at exactly the same time.
I'm sure that was interesting for Kaskaya to see.
It's like, what the fuck?
I mean, yeah, we're near each other, so I look at Hazadrin and
I mean, every one of
there.
you looks noticeably like pale, but of course none of you know at this point that you all had the same dream. You just know you had a dream.
Need a drink?
Yes.
I'll pull out my poor craftsmanship
Um,
drink for you. That's all I have. I don't have a lot to my name. I have a bottle of poor craftsmanship spirits that I will share with you.
I'll just
yummy.
take a sip
Rot
to
gut.
take the edge off.
I'm gonna stand up and come
A
sit.
little bit of
out
Kentucky Deluxe for everybody.
I'm gonna take that out of my inventory.
The Swisher Sweets.
Can I come sit with everyone else?
Still in my sleeping bag, I look over at Lena as she sits down.
Needed to get up anyway.
Did any of you guys sleep at all?
I mean, I think
Not
so.
well.
I guess it's just the ground or something. I mean, it's comfortable. I'm going to shift in my sleeping bag.
Did you not
Yeah.
sleep well?
You all woke up at the same time.
It was like
Was there a
What?
noise?
really upset.
Maybe.
No, there was no noise. It was just you. You three?
Wait, who woke up at the same time?
You three?
Just
You saw
us three?
you saw that?
I am keeping watch, so yes. You three woke up at the same time. You all sat up. You all looked at me with death. I offered you a drink.
It's just a bit of an odd dream. It's been a rough day.
I mean, yeah. I guess it was a dream for me too. It's more like despair, really. It's like an emotion.
Yeah, that's it. Despair. That's what it is. It's like when you're standing in a line and then the person next to you falls over and you're like, well, there goes my cover. That was kind of the feeling. Except more effeminate and scared.
Yeah. Like you're sitting on a stool and three strangers loom over you and you know they're gonna attack, and right before they do, you know. You just feel it coming or something. Yeah.
I just remember a moon, and
Did it do the thing with the eye and
Did you say
there was an eye in yours too?
in the moon, and then this town and
What town? I saw straw or like a bedding, right?
yeah,
Like a
and then it was like,
mattress.
and there was like.
Would
a
we have
fire.
ever been to the
ants.
city that was in our dream? Would we recognize that?
We passed by it, right?
Yeah, I mean, but I mean, it was literally it was no more than a dozen or so buildings. It's like a little hamlet. Like Mattersheim is a very insignificant little fishing village.
Okay, I guess I would say that then. Yeah, it was like a little fishing village. We're exposition the roleplay right now.
Right, expose.
That's not but that's not possible. It's not, that doesn't happen.
What doesn't happen?
We're all three having the eye and the despair and the mattress and the moon.
I think we
I
should
mean-
shift our sleeping spots because whatever we slept in had a little tinge of warp.
Maybe we
I
got
mean,
poisoned.
maybe we weren't the only ones that had the dream. I mean,
I'm
if the
gonna
three
look
of us
around,
did,
see if anybody's like moving or anything that you could see.
Well, I mean, you're not seeing any of the tents move, really. But while I say that, give me a perception skill roll with vision.
That's not gonna be good. She doesn't actually perceive things ever.
come on, perceive. Perceive like you mean it.
I got close, dang.
Yep, no,
Yeah.
I mean, and, you know, Rutger's tent is pretty large. She's inside inside her wagon, and everybody else was inside the mill, so you can't really see anybody else.
Write down all the dreams. Write down the dreams, all three.
I don't really remember much of it anymore.
I mean,
I'm
I'm
gonna
not gonna
tell Lena.
question
Like
it.
I'm gonna be like pushing Lena towards
yeah,
her
I'm not
back,
gonna
like,
question it. I'm just gonna
write it down.
do what she says.
I can't
Pull-
read, but
I'm-
like
I'm
she writes
thinking,
down
like-
everything.
That was a good idea,
The whole point
actually.
is the dream is fading from memory. So what you remember is what you remember, because I'm not going to repeat it.
I remember a lot of it. I didn't have the dream.
Right? So you don't.
So,
I can't tell you what you
It was
dreamt.
like-
Okay, guys, real quick, what do you remember?
straw bed. Flames, claws, some
Big
moon,
claws,
but like spooky moon, bad moon,
Scary
chaos
moon.
moon,
chaos moon.
big eye.
Was it the same symbol that we saw on that pamphlet by the pervert man?
No. It wasn't a symbol. It was the actual moon, but
It was just a
Um,
moon and like creepy.
yeah.
There was a chaos
Vision.
moon. Something about a big eye.
The big eye
Back pressed to
over
cold
the
stone.
and like the little town from earlier, probably.
Wait. I was being held down. I couldn't move.
Yeah, and then like it was just like really scary.
So I have straw bed, big
Being like
claws,
held down
chaos
on
moon,
like a stone, right? It was, like,
big
like,
eyes,
down.
back pressed against cold stone, little fishing town.
There you go.
Little
You got your
Said
notes.
despair.
Is that like a
Oh, overwhelming feeling of despair.
You all said despair when you woke up.
spare? Yeah. And
Wasn't
then,
there something about not corruption? There was a word. They
it's
use,
the one
no.
you don't like saying out loud. Yeah. We can all agree it was the thing we didn't like to say out loud. Voldemort.
Strahd.
So what are we gonna do about this impossible thing that just happened to the three of us?
Keep it in mind. See if it comes up again. See if you recognize anything. From
Maybe
the
head down to
dream.
town for supplies. I could use a refill of the drink. Maybe they have some drink there.
So our
Oh.
first day of starting a new job, we're gonna leave to get beer.
Sounds like council workers to me. Sounds like y'all work for Public Works.
Okay, Kazkaya, you make that argument.
Kaz is going to be
to
holding
our
a shovel,
bosses.
staring in a hole, and the rest of you will all be around the same hole, looking down into it.
Yeah. You be the one to talk to Rutger about us leaving on their first day at the job, doing the hard manual
We don't have to
labor.
go tomorrow. We can go later in the week.
How far north are we from the town?
A couple of miles.
I mean, we could just go now.
Do you think that they will wake up soon?
Well, it's like 1:30.
Hey, but the town won't be awake for me to get a drink from.
Yeah, the town's likely to be pretty.
We'll wake them up. Find that bed with the moon and the eye.
I don't know what bed we're looking
That
for. I
was
want to go for a drink too.
Not my assignment.
Wasn't employed to do that.
All right.
I mean, there's still some time left. If those of you that want to try to get back to sleep, you can. Whose watch should it be?
I mean,
It'll
it
be
was supposed to
Lena's
be
watch,
mine.
yeah.
Okay. Lena probably isn't getting much sleep anyway. After such
Yep.
vivid, unpleasant dreams.
I mean, with that, then I'll just snuggle back up in my and try to go back
Okay.
to sleep.
Alrighty.
I'll go to sleep so I can get my healing.
Alrighty. Well, very early, like the sun is up, or just above the horizon. You may or may not be awoken by the door of the mill opening as Thulgrim comes out, grabbing hold of a small rope attached to a large bell.
Fine.
Ding-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling, and he starts ringing it like hell. Get up, you filthy humans. Come on, get your asses to work. Come on, manlings, out of your bed. And you hear, and slowly but surely crawling out of their tents, you start seeing the collection of laborers.
I sluggishly get out of my sleeping bed, light the fire, and I guess start cooking, right? Like finding the food stock and the eggs.
Seeing you pull out pots and pans and stuff like that, Thulgrim wanders over. He says, "Oh, so you're a camp cookie now then, eh?"
I mean, that's what Rutger kind of told me to do when I said I did cook.
He says, "Well, in the mill. That's where the supplies are. Go help yourself. Be nice to have a decent meal cooked." He said, "Most of this Strigani lot, they tend to cook their own little bits and bobs," he said, "but it's always strange, weird smelling stuff. Doesn't sit right with my stomach. Not that I can't handle the heat, mind. The heat's not the problem. Just don't like the flavors, see?"
Well, my flavors tend to be on the sweeter side. A lot of,
Sounds like
sugar
bitch talk.
infused.
"I like plain food." He goes, "There's some salted pork in there." He said, "If you'd like to cut that up and throw a few of them into a saucepan, maybe a bit of the venison sausage, that'll do me."
All right, I'm going to
You want
obviously
to go
cook
ask if
more
anyone
for
else
my
wants to put in their
station.
order. There, Nelwick.
I am going to look at everyone as they're waking up and point at the food and them and like, do you want a part of this? Like, so I can kind of guesstimate how much I should cook. Because I'm not just going to cook for me and my friends and myself and the dwarf.
You're
but
expected to cook for the camp, so...
That's, yeah. I'm trying to like, not overcook, but not underserve it also, right?
I'm gonna mumble to Nelwick, you don't have to take orders from everybody.
Oh, thank you, boss. As your deputy, I'll keep that in mind.
I'm gonna lightly swat him on the back of the head.
Well,
I'm going to use that as momentum to get the supplies, like as just a forward.
Right. Well, the
Push
two
that
crewmen
way.
and the barge master, Rico, step out, kind of... Fulgrim says, "Manlings, you lot staying for breakfast?" They go, "Oh, well, we're awake now. No, we should be getting back." Just, fair enough. "Well, that's 3 less you gotta cook for there, shorty."
Into mental notes in my head as I prepare. I'm gonna give everybody food poisoning, I swear.
Yeah.
Okay, he goes over to Rutger's tent, opens it and goes, "Mr. Rooter, the barge captain and his 2 are off. If you needed to talk to them." "Yeah. No, it's fine. I'm sure they're happy."
Yeah, they're thrilled.
He's like, whatever, and then just walks back. With that, the 3 of them kind of begin to walk out of town. If anybody wishes to talk to them before they do so, now's your chance.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull Rico back
Okay.
by himself.
Okay.
What are your plans?
He says, "Go to Mattersheim, see if there's any work. If not, a long road back to Nunn."
what sort of savings did you need for you to go back to your daughters?
He says, well, Rutger promised that he would reimburse us for the cost of the ship once I knew how much it would cost to repair. I'm hoping that at Mattersheim I can find a carpenter to address the issues with my boat, and then I can come back here and let Rutger know how much money he owes. He says, if I cannot find a craftsman there, then we will go to none, but we will be back here in a number of days.
That doesn't really answer the question.
He says, I don't know. I figured I would work until I felt like I had enough. I don't really know how much that is. Of course, my earnings will be slowed under the circumstances. It will probably take weeks to fix my boat.
I'm just gonna sigh, and then I'm gonna slide 10 gold into his hand.
Okay, he looks at you and he says, why, I appreciate it. I could not possibly accept this charity. I work for a living.
I'm gonna drop my voice as low as I can and say, consider it a gift.
You will have to succeed in a charm roll, because he is a proud man and will not take it otherwise.
Ooh. This is the first person we've ever encountered who didn't take the money answer.
I'm re-rolling it.
Okay.
I want him to
It's a new
money.
day, so you've all got your points back anyway if you spent any.
Hey!
Okay, he says, I will accept it as a loan, as long as at some point I find myself in the means that you will permit me to pay you back.
If that's what you wish, but...
He says it is. But for now, this money would be of great use. I thank you.
Well, if you wish to pay it back, you can pay it back at any temple of Verna. And then I'm going to turn around and walk off.
Okay. He nods and manages a half smile as he goes over and joins his two workmates, and they head out of town. Okay, so our halfling friend is cooking up a good breakfast for everybody. Are you going into the building? Nelwick?
Oh, yeah.
Alright.
In here, right?
Yeah.
What the supplies are?
Give me... Do you have any... What sort of trade skills do you have, if any?
Cooking.
Only cooking?
Yes.
Okay.
Secret Signs Ranger, but that's not a trade skill.
No.
I mean, you know.
But you don't have any, like... Mining, carpentry...
Nope,
any
set
skill...
trap and follow trail.
Okay, that's fine. Alright, yeah, you walk in. The place is pretty shabby. You can find a makeshift cupboard over here, which is full of various different things. There are eggs, there is salted pork, there's hardtack, there's bags of grain and flour and stuff like that. And there's a lot of different utensils that can be used to make things. I mean, the ingredients are here to where if you wanted to, you could bake bread. As I said, there's nothing here that is particularly perishable, for obvious reasons.
Right.
And
Okay.
there is also, like, laying on the top of the thing, there's like a small rack that's got quite a few fish draped over it as well, like drying. Which obviously, with the river being right there, it's a pretty easy source of catching fish.
So the only caveat is after yesterday's whole adventure, I'm staying away from cooking fish in the breakfast morning. The look at the fish reminds me of the grandmother, and then I imagine her legless at the bottom of the ocean, the river. So I'm sticking to like the sausage links.
Sure you don't want to just eat
eggs.
exclusively fish?
Maybe we cook
Right.
some bread. We bake some bread.
Maybe you should
It's
eat the
about
fish, get
sending a
revenge.
message.
Eat the fish to get
Dumb.
revenge.
We'll do that later on.
Eat the fish, dump the bones in the water, make sure it sees it,
Yep.
absorb its power.
Yeah, so I'm
Okay.
gonna get all the stuff I can and start.
All right. You two dwarfs and Lena. I mean, most of these guys are already back over here starting to work.
All right.
The partners have not emerged yet.
Lazy bastards. Okay.
But you've got Fulgrim is in fact the foreman, so technically he's the work boss for everything, but he has not asked you guys to do a darn thing yet, and he hasn't given you any instructions as to what to do.
So just
Okay,
go
well,
to
I
him
don't
and
want to get
ask
in his
what to do.
way, but
So as you guys are, as it's now daylight and you can kind of see around and stuff, do any Lena, Kazadrin, or Kazkai, do any of you have any trade skills or any physical skills?
I have Smith.
Dwarfcraft?
So you've got Smith.
Yeah, I've got Smith.
Okay, give me a dice roll using that.
It's not great, but it's not
Okay.
nothing.
Got mining.
Mining, I would allow. Anything that is a solid trade skill. And if you choose to re-roll, let me know.
dude, I'm a scholar that was born in a
Oh,
hole. I don't know.
Yeah, I'll give it another go.
I don't
Okay.
feel like it's high enough for me to want to reroll.
No, good.
Okay.
It's worse. Oh, God, that's so much
Alrighty.
worse, though.
Okie dokie. Yeah. How long does it take you to cook breakfast for everybody? Nelwick?
I don't know. I don't cook in real life, so I'm gonna estimate for all these.
Let's say 30 minutes.
Sure, 30 minutes.
After the fire gets good and done. Okay, by the time you've got the cooking going, and a decent smell is now wafting through the air, Ruder emerges. It's probably 6 a.m. at this point. It's still damn early. How anybody could be still sleeping over the sawing and the hammering that's going on at the northern part of the mill. The Fulgrim himself is chopping wood, and getting, making sure there's a good supply of logs to keep the fire going all day and all night. And by morning, both of the partners have emerged. Once breakfast is ready, Rutger comes over and says to Nelwick, this smells delicious.
I hope it is.
May I fix a plate?
Please.
Right.
It's a buffet.
Okay, yeah, he'll get himself a meager helping, and then he takes it inside to the mill.
To vomit it because it's horrible.
All of the mill workers come and grab some, and basically all start sitting around on some of the cut logs to eat their breakfasts. And at that point, her ladyship steps out as well and sniffs the air and stretches. Once your breakfast is finished, you really have a couple of options. You can go talk to her, or go seek, or go find your employer.
I mean, he's the one that I was sent to watch, so.
Mm-hmm. She was also the one mentioned that she wanted that she would talk with you all in the morning. So you've got, as I said, choices really.
I feel like we should probably settle with her, and then...
Or you can mix and match.
Yeah, I don't
Give me a
trust
cooking
those
roll,
rolls
please, Nelwick.
Oh.
Let's see the quality of this food you dug up for everybody.
Oh.
Quality.
Calls himself a cook. See,
I'm
he is.
re-rolling.
He's not accepting the burnt
Oh,
food that he
abysmal.
would be putting up otherwise.
Please. That's okay, so it's edible.
Yeah, it's edible.
It's nothing
It's a
special.
little overcooked. It's a little tough.
I didn't sleep well last night, I'm sorry.
But hey, it's camp food. I mean, it's not gourmet food, right? It's enough to where most people will eat it because they're hungry and they need the fuel.
The poor Romani people are like, did you season this at all?
It's Dragani,
So then you
like
probably
pulling out
didn't,
little,
because after
yeah,
the
they're
other
reaching
guy-
in and pulling out little pepper pots and. Okay. All right. So who wants to go talk to Joanna, and who wants to go talk to Rutger? Or do you want to all go to one and then the other? What's the game plan?
I guess we'll stick together.
Okay.
If everybody wants to go talk to her first, that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. Then make your way over to her. Alright. She says, well, good morning. I trust you slept well. I certainly
Yeah.
did not, but then I rarely do.
Oh yeah? Did you have bad nightmares too? We certainly did.
I've had nightmares for days. It is difficult
really?
to stay asleep well here.
Have you always had nightmares or just since you got here?
I've always had nightmares, but on and off. Now you come to mention it, it has been pretty consistent since we have been at this place. But I honestly think it's just due to the constant stress that I find myself under dealing with this venture.
So you had one last night?
Oh yes, but I think nothing of it at this point. So, as I said last night, we would
I'm gonna glance at them.
come to a mutual agreement. So, you're here as laborers, yes?
Yes.
Right, well, the Stragani are, working for 2 shillings a day. I can offer you each the same. And I understand that my compatriot also mentioned something about compensation for dragging all of our materials here as well. So, did he mention a sum?
No, actually.
Well,
That fair compensation.
Well, I suppose he would have probably offered you a day's pay, and I did say that I would double it, so here's 4 shillings each for yesterday's work. And we'll keep up with the payments going forward. We pay at the end of each day.
Where?
He says, well, Thulgrim can direct you to whatever tasks best, either that or my partner Rutger. I'm sure if he hired you, he obviously quizzed you and figured out what your best suited skills were, so he'll have some idea. I'm going to go and check over our inventory to see of what we purchased from Nuln actually made it here in one piece, and what we lost. If you excuse me.
As she departs, I'm gonna look at Lena. Are they all having the same dream we did last night?
Hard to say without her describing it. I do find it strange
Hey,
that
Manling.
she mentioned it.
Manly.
Okay, so you're going to go over to this Stragani that's sitting here eating his sausage. Right, he looks down at you from his perch on the
Like, kind
Tree
of
stump.
awkwardly leaning on this, like, parcel of fabric. No, it's not common sort, but do you recall having, a rough go at the dreams last night?
He kind of looks at you and says, what an odd thing to ask somebody you have never met. Is this a strange
agree.
dwarven custom?
I'm just gonna walk up to somebody I've never met at work tomorrow and just be like,
Did you have strange dreams last
"Did you
night?
have a bad dream last night?"
Oh, it's just,
I mean,
just,
you can see how that would sound, right? Coming out
Yeah,
of...
yeah. Not a strange dwarven custom, just a strange dwarf out of customs.
He says, one dwarf in this camp is already one too many. And now
Oh, don't do
we
that.
are to suffer 3.
Blatant racism abounds from all sides.
Right then, I look forward to working alongside you as well.
This is going to be a barrel of laughs.
Just remember,
answer
your
the
knees
damn
are
question.
about proper height for me to punch out. You know?
All right. So yeah, that went well. What else do you guys want to do?
So we're gonna go talk to Rutger now.
Okay. Well, he'll be coming out, dabbing his mouth clean from his breakfast as you wander over there.
Oi, Rutger. How was your meal?
He says, it was fine. Yes, at least it wasn't full of those weird spices that the Stracani fellows like.
He had a bit of a rough go this morning. He'll catch his
yes,
stride.
I'm sure it'll take him a day or two to get into the swing of things. I'm sure cooking is much like any other skill. You have to kind of find your rhythm.
Add to that I didn't sleep well last night. I had a bad dream. I'm going to say that quite loudly.
Okay. He says,
to get his reaction.
Oh yes, this is I do sympathize. I have also suffered from unpleasant dreams myself, but at least we have the fresh river air. Yes. So, about the work I need you to do, I have a very special task for you this morning.
Okay.
Nice.
He says, so if you head just east into the woods, where we have been cutting the trees, you'll find a large rock with a ring of stones around the base of it. It needs to be moved. I need you to take it and get
God
rid
damn
of it. Unfortunately, the Stragani refused to touch it. Something about it being, what did they call it?
Sacred, cursed.
Oh, nothing of the sort. No. You know these Vistani people, they are very suspicious. They think everything is some kind of bad omen or whatever. No. It is kind of a ogum. A stone that has strange markings and writing. Something of... Anyway, just get rid of it, pull it out of the ground, move it away so the Vistani will go... the Stragani will go back into the woods and continue to cut trees.
Vistani, Stragani.
Right.
So the issue is they won't cut any more trees down because of the rock?
Well, that and the fact that the rock is kind of right in the middle of our work site, so it needs to just go anyway. But if you'll take care of that this morning, that would be fantastic.
Okay, so you hired me because I'm a problem solver. What if, stay with me, we get trees from somewhere else?
He says, well, the problem is we specifically need to clear the area around the mill. We need, we need all of this area cleared for other buildings and storage and stuff like that. So we really need this particular area cleared out. Yes, we could cut trees to the north, cut trees to the south, but we still have to cut those trees to the east as well. One way or another, the rock is in a very unpleasantly awkward place, so it just needs to be removed.
Can I ask who scouted your land?
Sorry?
Who decided to build the mill here?
It was a parcel of land that we were able to purchase for quite a reasonable sum, actually.
Oh,
From one of the local lords. I skillfully negotiated the deal myself.
Oh, okay. Can I ask who you bought it from?
Oh, just one of the local lords, one of the local merchants. He had a parcel of land along the river. Normally, riverside property is very expensive, but I managed to bargain him down to almost half price.
Impressive. Okay.
Are there people living in these woods that are not under the Lord's
oh, good
purview?
gracious me, no. No, the closest settlement to here is Mattisheim, which is a couple of miles to the south.
Yeah, we passed it. I just... Any creatures or people?
Well, it is woods. I mean, they're going to be, the regular woodland creatures, but we have been here for a number of weeks, and nothing unpleasant has come and disturbs our campsite. No bears or wolves or anything of nature. Certainly nothing sinister like, I don't know, monsters and things.
Probably. Okay. I'm going to give Lena a knowing look.
It's a simple task. It's a large rock and some small rocks. Just two big
Is that
dwarfs.
what's been holding up the progress?
No, it is just one task that I need accomplished that the Strigani will not do. So it seems appropriate that you will do this to us.
Oh, no, I agree. I was just curious. I mean, you had mentioned that the project has gone on longer than it was supposed to, and it's cost more than it was supposed to.
Well, yes.
And I was just
mean,
wondering if it was this rock that was causing the problems.
Oh no. That's just a minor inconvenience that needs to be removed.
Oh.
No, we had some issues where some of the foundations were not up to par, and after laying some of the stonework, some of it fell away. We've had issues where some of the logs that we had fell into the river, and we had to cut a lot more logs. The water wheels that we built, it was working fine. Unfortunately, it turned out that some of the housings for the main spoke in the center was not 100% up to snuff, and it ran off kilter and ended up getting broken. Simple, stupid things like that happen during construction.
Okay, so as he's going through this whole list of what's befallen the camp, I'm going to give everybody that's been here a good hard look. I'm assuming they all look exhausted, right? Like,
I mean, they're all getting a night's rest, but I mean,
are they really? If they're having nightmares every night,
they're not all looking particularly vibrant. No.
Okay.
You do trust the craftsmen that you've hired here.
Well, I trust Stalgrim.
Okay, that's
Yes,
all
he,
I was.
Comes from excellent stock, being a dwarf and all that. He more than knows his craft. If you have any questions, I'm sure you can talk to him about the construction. I know little about this sort of thing myself. I'm more of a businessman than a craftsman.
Oh, okay.
I
All right, so we got a rock to move. Okay.
Yes, once you've gotten that taken care of, we'll find you some other work.
Yes.
All right,
let's go
guys.
see
It looks
this
like we
rock.
need to see this rock. Yeah.
Right?
We're gonna walk away.
Yeah.
Gonna go see
head.
this rock that I've.
He's going to make
As
his
we're
way back to
walking-
his tent. Yep.
I would also keep commentary with Khazadrin. Why would you sell Riverside property at half price?
Well, probably because there's a rock.
that gives people nightmares.
I mean, you have
Quite a special rock.
enough trouble developing land as it is, knowing everything's cursing people's dreams in the night, and
Your workers are afraid of it.
so it's probably hard to get your own people to do things on it. Yep.
Quite a rock.
Probably quite a rock. I mean, part of me is like, of course they send the dwarves to go look at the rock, but then the other half of me is like,
We are
I can't wait
dwarves.
to see this rock.
Yep.
All
We're
right.
heading to the rock.
The
Okay.
rock.
Rock.
He said it was a
Rock.
big rock and a bunch of smaller rocks.
It's
so
a rock.
it's like Stonehenge, guys. We're gonna go see Stonehenge.
Well, it's not hard to find simply because you eventually get to an area where the trees are not particularly cut. And you will
There's a big
notice...
rock.
Actually, I do need to fix the sizing on this a bit because it's not quite to size. There we go. So yeah, once you kind of pass, you see where a lot of trees have been cut, then you'll start to see where some trees are not cut. And just beyond the edge of those trees, in
Hey, it's a rock.
in a little crop of trees that have not been touched, sits exactly what was described. A large circle of stones and a big, tall, ominous plinth of a rock sitting in the dead center of it. You can tell that there are markings and carvings and stuff on it from here, but at this distance, you can't make out what they are.
Remember,
However-
guys, don't step in the fairy circle.
However, we're not going to worry about what they are until next Thursday, because that brings us neatly and tidily to the end of our show for this evening.
I want to know if that symbol's what we saw in our dreams, because I got a hunch.
Or is this the entryway to a temple of chaos that'll lead us to the third artifact of
Hey, maybe.
our other campaign?
You'll catch them.
Gotta catch them all.
Or is this where the dagger of Yolkachum was and it was moved? You know.
We're now telling
Surprise,
the backstory,
prequel!
guys. Yeah.
Right.
This is how
a
it got to the
Minotaur's
city.
gonna come out. Yeah.
This is the dagger of Yont Kacham.
Yumka Yum. Of Yamaka. The dagger of Yamaka.
I just see it as like a fairy circle. We're gonna cross into it and have to make a deal with fairies, and it's gonna go poorly for Kazkaya.
Mhm.
She's not clever enough to make a deal with fairies.
I see a red door and I want it painted blue, right?
As harsh as Lena is, she sure does like live like a damn charity.
Right?
My bleeding heart.
So there we go. Alrighty, anyone got any questions?
If you ever met her in real life, you would either end up with like $1 million or dead.
50-50. She's either going to take pity on you and send you away with a whopping amount of cash, or she's going to beat you to a bloody pulp.
It's
Talk about
still
your kids. That's all you gotta do.
the fact that the priestess sent us here because of my unorthodox methods. Like, I know we're supposed to just be checking this out because one of the church benefactors basically wants to know where the hell all his money's going.
Mm-hmm.
And why do I
But,
still
like-
not have a damn mill built? What the hell is my
Because you're
son
building on
up
cursed
to?
land, my dude.
And
Should've
maybe
surveyed
that's
that
the
shit better.
answer.
Yep.
Oh, gotta love it.
The thing is, I don't know that any of us have any skills to figure out what the hell this rock is when we look at it.
Hey, maybe you do.
Kazadrin can mine it away.
I mean, it looks pretty obvious that we as players know we don't want to touch this, right? And our characters are probably like, well, these people are scared of it, and we're having nightmares, and everybody's having nightmares. We're gonna have to move this cursed rock, aren't we?
Yeah. Yeah, we
I
are.
really
think
don't
it-
wanna.
It's just a rock.
I mean,
Oh, yeah.
knowing rocks, I'm thinking the rock itself isn't cursed. Whatever the rock is preventing.
Ring.
Yeah.
That's
We're getting the leftoverture of whatever is underneath it, and it's there to seal it off, and we gotta move it, and that's gonna break a seal. And now, ooh, but that's me saying it. Kaz
We're
is
gonna
like,
fulfill some kind of
we're
prophecy
gonna
or
open this
some
rock.
shit.
Basically.
I touched the rock. Yeah.
We're gonna destroy this rock, and the
touch the
Romani
rock.
people back at camp are just gonna be like, well, "What the fuck did you do?" We're gonna be like, "It was in the way. It's what
Right.
we were hired for."
Hey, Stragani, look what we've brought.
When all of the locals were like, I won't go there, I won't touch it, so they bring in the foreigners and they're like, go move it. And they're like, okay.
This is how every horror movie ever starts.
Absolutely. That's exactly where I was going.
Yep. Yeah, you passed a huge, big array of weapons, but you ignored all those and picked up a banana.
Crazy that nobody's lived in this house for 400 years.
I'm gonna go buy it. I can get it at half price.
This guy that everybody thinks is an idiot thinks he's this great
What's
businessman
this weird
because
book I found in the basement with these strange encryptions? I know. Let's say them for a joke.
gotta read them out loud
Yeah.
or play the hidden record that's kept in this bank vault or whatever. If
Anyone
anyone's
buy
seen
some
the
magic
new
beans?
Evil Dead movie.
Right? Yeah.
I'm seeing it like the old Mummy movie. You know,
Yeah.
like, yeah, nobody's gonna go in there. We're gonna go in there. It's gonna be great. We're gonna awaken a mummy beneath this rock. That's what I'm seeing happening.
There you go. What could be wrong? What could go wrong?
Nothing. Nothing can go wrong.
All right, guys, we're going to get out of here. Thank you for hanging out with us. We've had a blast. Hope you did too. Appreciate everybody that hit the follow button. We will see you hopefully Monday for the continuation of Relative Curse of Strahd. It'll be a big decompress episode of lots of family roleplay, I feel sure, since they just had a really fun Din-Dins. So,
experience.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. If you guys haven't seen that episode, I don't know when it'll be uploaded to YouTube. It shouldn't be too long, but you need
Relatively
to check it
soon,
out.
yeah.
You need to check it out. It was a good one. Might still be on the VOD as well, currently.
I think it was on the VOD.
Oh, it's definitely still on the VOD.
Yeah, so there's still the VOD you can watch on Twitch if you can't
Yeah.
wait until it goes live.
I think
so
I'm like
there
an
we go.
episode before it, so it's still. I mean, so I'll do
Yeah.
it soon.
Sounds good. All right, guys. Well, we appreciate it. Everybody have a fantastic weekend. Bye, y'all. Bye.
Bye.